Okay, we'll get started. We're obviously got a busy schedule, and we would remind everybody that it's a 5-minute to stay on schedule. We try to adhere to the 5-minute time frame that we have for each of the participants and applicants. We appreciate it. Appreciate everybody coming this morning. There's not a whole lot to say. Most of you know what this is all about. You filled the applications out and provided all the information to us, and today's another opportunity for you to share some of the details and answer questions that the review committee has. So we thank you very much for coming today. So with that, we're going to get started right now. So the first project is St. Andrew the Apostle Parish. The project name is Project Hope House.
Morning.
Morning.
Right here, good?
Right there is perfect.
Okay. You can hear me. So, good morning. My name is Joe Caruso. I'm a business manager over at St. Andrew the Apostle Parish. I'm going to try to do my very best to keep to the 5 minutes. I'll give you a little bit of background and I'll dive deeper into the mission and the project. So who we are 3 churches in Charleroi, Monongahela, and over in Denora that merged in 2019 just before the pandemic. We are very much looking to be we want to make the church relevant, but we also want to serve the community. Some of the ways that we've done that through some of our service ministries, our food bank services really exploded in the past couple of years. We're feeding about 1,400 people a month. We have a diaper bank, a food pet pantry. We serve dignity robes to help people with cancer. We have our formation center in Charleroi that's helping the immigrant population and the community at large, really, as we also serve as a hub for different partners like Hello Neighbor, JFCS, the Intermediate Community and Literacy Council. So when we think about our campus in Monongahela, and that's where this project comes into play, the campus that's there today, there's a church, there's a school, a Catholic school. We're planning to move to Denora. We have our mission house, which is the rectory, and then this concept is for our Hope House. And what we see is continued service to our communities, the Mon Valley in particular. So that the project at large looks at that school. We want to sort of make that a technical center where we're helping people as we recognize that there's a need for job placement, job training, and things along those lines. Our mission house, we want to have a different flavor where we're helping veterans and other vulnerable populations. The Hope House is a convent that sits on the end of the street. And what we want to do with that Hope House is we want to transform it, and we want to help with the addiction problem that we're having across the area. So we would look to bring in an order that manages addiction management or addiction ministry and helps folks really with a second chance, right? Our project has been socialized across the space. Some of the people in this room have shown support for that. So we've talked to local government, our representative, of course, our senator, and folks here at the county. So that's just a little bit of background. I'm trying to keep to the time.
Any questions? Okay, thank you. Appreciate it. Next is Washington Wild Things. Project name is Wild Things Video Board Replacement.
Good morning, and thank you for a number of things. Thank you for allowing me to come and talk to you, and thank you for the support you've given us over the past few years. Our ballpark is going to celebrate its 25th anniversary, I can't believe that, in 2027. And there have been a lot of things that have needed to be renovated. When we started this project, and I say we, I really wasn't, I was there, but I wasn't one of the people that started it. Back in 2002, I never thought that 25 years later, it would be here or that I would be here. It's a project that has become a part of the fabric of Washington County, in my opinion. An example of that is I was talking to somebody the other day that I barely knew him, but, and he told me he had played the mascot at one time, substituting, and it's actually a legislator who who did that. When I look at this, I think every kid has had a job there or has been involved there, played ball there, that kind of thing. It's really and truly become part of our community. The original scoreboard is the scoreboard that we have now. It's 23 years old. It's hard to see. It's, in terms of technology, archaic, and it needs to be replaced. In 2012, we put in the video board that we currently have. And quite frankly, as you know, technology changes constantly, and it's not doing the job that it needs to do. And so sometimes we get criticism because it's not as great a fan experience as perhaps it could be, and we can't do some of the things that we would like to do to enhance the fan experience. And that becomes important because, as you all know, people have a lot of entertainment choices, and we want to be one of the major ones. Luckily, we're in the top 3 tourism attractions in the county. We're very proud to be there, and we've been there since the beginning. We want to keep that position, and we want to continue to be a place that people come for baseball, for concerts. By the way, Taylor Swift started her career with us. When you look at the different things that we've done there and how much fun it's been and how it's become a big part of the community, you understand how important this project is. And I'm not talking just about the video board project. I'm talking about the park itself and what it has become. Having a new video board would enhance the experience of people in the park. And it can also do some things like, we could start offering different things like movie night. We've always wanted to do a movie night on the big screen, but our screen it can't do it. You know, at one point we had talked about during the NFL draft, perhaps we could have people from Washington County could come and watch it on the big screen. We don't have a board that can do that. So that's why this becomes so important. We have been looking to replace it for 2 years. We had gone after RCAP dollars for it, but they will not support something. They won't support a video board because I don't understand this, but one of the things I was told was, well, it's movable, you could take it. I don't know if they thought somebody was gonna come in and steal it or what they thought, but for some reason that doesn't fit into their category. We'd really like to replace this. And I know a lot of people think that we're making tons of money and why don't we just replace it ourselves? Quite frankly, we have yet to turn a profit in 23 years. Our owners, for whatever reason, and I'm sure there are tax ramifications and those kinds of things that are helpful to them, but they continue to sink millions of dollars into this facility. And so we come to you once again, asking for help to replace the video board, and it will become a combination video scoreboard. Thank you. Do you have any questions?
Questions?
We could provide partial funding. Do you think you get some private sector funding or do a small loan, something to make out with?
Yes, I do.
Okay, thank you.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Did you consider a tourism grant?
We're not eligible for a tourism grant because we're for-profit technically. Tourism has come in and helped us do other things. They have things that for-profits can do, but they cannot give us a grant because of their rules. Anybody else?
Hey, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Okay, next is VFI, formerly Triple. Project name, revitalizing wasted space, converting the former YWCA pool area. Good morning.
Morning. Thanks for the tough spot to follow Washington Wild Things. They are the best baseball team in Pittsburgh, so big ask, but thank you all so much. I appreciate your time. I'm Nick Consoli, Chief Development Officer here on behalf of Voices for Independence Triple, as you probably all are familiar and know. How many are familiar with the old YWCA here in Washington-on-Main? Many of you are. Most of the time when I tell the story about our offices, most folks go, oh yeah, I used to swim there. That brings me to the subject matter of today. When we rebuilt the facility, if you've ever been in there, and if you have not, I encourage you to come visit us. We made a 4-story building completely accessible for all of our folks that we serve here in the community with disabilities. We did everything that we could to make that happen. The only place that they never touched was the former pool. It is a uninhabitable, vacant area, completely unusable. We know it's a big ask, but our goal is to attempt to finish that project, to complete that area so that it can be habitable. Our goal is obviously number one that I mentioned was storage, but our plan is to hopefully use that to build more of our programming up. We're kind of landlocked. It's the one part about being in the city. You love being in the city to have an office, but at the same time, you can't grow or do anything else. And our need is continuing to expand. We have folks who need help between here and Erie, where other office is. There's just a ton of folks here who are looking for our services. So we're trying to expand our programming and build our programming. We have nowhere to do it. And our hopes to do this is to create more space for us since we have it and turn this into something that can be really usable. We're trying to create new programs to serve different communities in the disability area. And our hope is to take this to wherever it can be. It's nice to have that space. So now it's the opportunity for us to convert it and use it as best as possible. We've been given a beautiful spot here in the city of Washington. We want to stay here in the city of Washington. We want to grow here. But our hopes is to do so with what we've been given, and this is the opportunity to do so.
Morning.
Good morning. Sure.
So it has here no match, but who would be doing the design, architectural, anything?
So there's an architectural firm, BSI, out of Erie that's doing it for us. They have laid out some plans and processes for us as it is already there. I have those. They're very rough. They're very ugly because it really is just an empty space, right? Uninhabitable. So they're going to go in and shore up the walls, lay a cement floor, and do some things there. We have plans in place for the fact we understand it's a very big ask. So our plan is to be able to fund as best as possible wherever we can fill in.
But my question would be, so that architectural design and all of that, all those plans, did they donate their time? Was it in kind? Did they charge you?
Right now, it looks to me there'll be a charge coming. It's not been laid yet. We have a lot of work with them. They're a big sponsor of ours. Yes. Do not know. No. I love the fact that dealing with this over the months and period of time, we have not seen anything. I've seen one blueprint, but not seen anything else yet. But we're getting there. Of course. Of course.
Okay, anybody else? Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Next is East Pike Street LLC. Project name, the East Pike Street Project. Morning.
Thank you for having us here. We appreciate your time.
Morning. My name is Daryl Heiser. This is Natalia Haynes, and we're managers with East Pike Street LLC and D. Fuchs. Would you like to talk about the Fuchs family a little bit?
Yes, so I'm the granddaughter of the Fuchs family, G3, learning the ropes, you could say. And today, we're here to talk about a property here in Canonsburg, Pennsylvania. So we have 5 commercial properties in right on downtown Canonsburg, off and on Pike Street. We're going to focus on the first one today, Citizens Bank, and really what we're trying to do there is a revitalization of downtown of Canonsburg, that focusing as our anchor property. And if you want to talk about the phases so far, we've been.
Yeah, so we purchased the former Citizens Bank 2 years ago, and 2 months ago, we started development on the first phase of the project. So it's an 18,000 square foot building, 9,000 square feet per floor. And the first floor, we're going to have 3 tenants, one being Storm's Restaurant, which we signed a 10-year lease. The second tenant is, we're hoping to be a local bank that we're talking to. We haven't crossed the finish line with the lease, but we're close to that, which will utilize the drive-through that's there. And then the third space will be a bar with some appetizers that we're going to operate. We did buy a liquor license already. We secured that. And construction is well on its way for the first floor of this property. We have the architecture done, building permits in hand, and we are building right now. The second phase of this project is why we're here today for the ask of $250,000 to develop the second floor. It's right around 9,000 square feet, and we'd like to put an event center in there and possibly rent out some space beside it. It's a big space. And we believe the more people we can get to downtown Kansas, it benefits all of us. So that's why we think that event center would be a nice play for everybody in the local community. Good.
Okay, questions?
Quick question. So there's already opportunity for that restaurant. They got interest. They want to be coming in, right?
Yeah, we already signed a lease with them, Storms Restaurant.
But you said that you're going to be.
We're gonna open one up also. So Storms Restaurant is BYOB, so it's gonna be a bar, and then with the bar liquor license, we have to serve appetizers, so there'll be some food involved with it.
And then where's their ample parking?
Yeah, so right next to our property, there's a 70 parking spaces right beside us that we're gonna utilize. We bought Bar Hardware right up the street from us, that we could put 35 cars there, and we're hoping that employees can park there. But within walking distance, Kansas right now has 500 spaces that we could utilize. We do have a drive-through, and we can do valet, so we can valet people in and out if need be. Parking will be an issue, but right now, to get started, we're gonna use what we have.
Okay, other questions?
Would a partial payment help you to keep going, you know?
Anything will be appreciative.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you for your time.
Okay, next is Epicenter LP, project name Epicenter. Morning.
Good time. Happy New Year to everybody. I'm James, Doc Mendelson. I'm from Epicenter. I think we all know what Epicenter entails by now. Let me give you a heads up on where we are. This past week, we executed a lease with Tanger, and we now have possession of the property after 2 years of handling. So this project is on the go. The key here now, the only contingency is getting it funded and financing. We're making a lot of progress on that. And let's talk about the things that we know. It's a 50-year lease with 3 10-year options. So it's a multi-generational project. This is not a one-time thing, 5 years, 10 years. It's going to be here for our kids, our grandkids, our great-grandkids. It's going to be here for a long, long time, and it's going to do well. What it's going to bring to Washington County, let's talk about the obvious, is other than the 40 to 80 jobs that we're going to create, other than the 550,000, 600,000 people we'll bring every year for tournaments and events, et cetera, et cetera. The numbers speak for themselves. Number one, we'll have tournaments on weekends, virtually 40 weekends out of the year, if not more. Each tournament brings children and their families from outside communities. We presume, based upon national stats, full 40% of people that come to these tournaments come from outside, and they get hotel rooms. We bring between 2,500 and 3,000 people for each weekend. Look at those numbers at 40%. We're looking at about 350 to 400 hotel rooms per night on a 2-night stay, because tournaments go usually from Saturday morning to Sunday afternoon and Sunday evening. So people come in on Friday and stay. So you extrapolate those numbers. I don't know what hotel room rates are in Washington. I got to presume they're somewhere around $100 a night on the weekend, but that comes out to be somewhere around $70,000 to $80,000 per weekend over 40 weekends. So you're looking at about $2.8 to $3.2 million in hotel revenue coming in just based upon this. One of our partners operates a facility in, used to operate, sold it, but in King of Prussia. And the Valley Forge Committee for Tourism estimated they bring $30 million in revenue into that King of Prussia area based upon economic impact in a given year. That's just a sports facility that's about a third of the size of what we have. So if we can extrapolate those numbers out a little bit, we're looking at probably somewhere between 60 million or more in economic impact. These numbers are not our numbers. These are numbers from other parties that have done this research before. So where we stand is we're going to do our best to build this thing. It's going to be lovely. Where we stand now is it's a funding situation. So this is what's called a unicorn project. It doesn't exist in the United States of America. There are many, many recreational facilities, and there are many, many sports facilities. There is none that have combined the two for the same facility. And whilst many people feel it's a no-brainer where it's located in Tanger down here in Washington County with a massive need for everything down here, it's still a risk because the underwriters have to compare it to other projects that don't exactly exist. So they're only willing to go so far on the funding capacity that we can do. So we'll be raising, $6 million of our own money, which is a substantial 30%. We don't know how far the funding sources are willing, but there's going to be a gap in there that's probably going to need to be covered. Now, we can make this project the envy of all other counties in the country. We can make this beautiful, bells and whistles, lovely, with programming for your constituents in Washington County, discounts on memberships, and your seniors, your children. We have the capacity to do all that if our budget isn't so tight where our debt service is maxed out. But I think that we can get this done, and with the teamwork that we have, based upon what you guys can provide for us and what we can provide for you, it's kind of no-brainer based upon just the volume of dollars where you can see how this can benefit the county as well as benefit ourselves.
Questions?
So how close are you to securing the financing side?
So we should have our caps set. We've been having conversations for about 2 years. There's a lot of people that have been interested. We have some big meetings coming up this week with some major players. We also have some grassroots programs getting smaller funding, but I would say we've probably raised verbally committed, we can't take any commitments till we have possession of the property, which just happened yesterday. So, but we have probably 50% of the funds on our side raised so far or committed to. We have another 50%. We don't think that's going to be a problem. Everybody's been kind of waiting, saying, hey, you've been talking about this for 2 years. Get us possession, we'll really open up discussions. Now that we have possessions, the big meetings are starting with the large players. So we think we'll get that done. The debt service, we had a meeting on Monday with the Mickiches and Nick Sherman to talk about the union's involvement in possibly getting us, that's Penn Trust, to help us with the financing. We've opened up some conversations with them. They are, let's say they're not inamenable to pursuing more conversations. We spoke with a number of banks, both local and national, as other funding sources. Again, the problem is the underwriting. It doesn't match up with anything that exists. So you can't go to another facility and say, here's how it works, here's how it works, here's how it works. Whatever they do, they know is going to be a sell because it's a risky project because it doesn't exist in the country right now.
So I think, was it last year that the LSA awarded Epicenter a grant?
Correct. 300,000. Okay,
So I'll be honest with you. I think you're sitting here too early.
Okay.
The concept of the LSA grants is to finalize funding for a project and make it go. If you don't have your financing in place, I personally don't know how we support the project moving forward.
I understand.
So I would love to see the development happen. I support what you're trying to do. Until your financing is together, I don't know how the board me personally supports it. And I'll be honest with you, I think the impression I got last year when you presented was that you had the financing together. And to hear that we're sitting here a year later and the project is in the exact same spot it was last year, it is a bit disappointing. So.
Allow me to dispute that. Number one, as you know, Tanger is not the easiest group to deal with. So we've been talking to them for 2 years, and it's taken us 2 years for finally to acquiesce. We did have the funding. We're in the same place we were last year. The fact of the matter is, until you have possession of property, the funding goes nowhere. So this is not upon us to do where we are. It's upon Tanger and the capability of them willingness to give us this project. They hemmed and hawed. There were many people in their company that did not want this project to happen. So there was lots and lots of arguments, and the one side that wanted it ultimately won over the side that didn't. So there was a lot of working pieces in play. And when we finally got possession of property yesterday is the time we can make this go forward. Now, it's our goal, if everything works well, to get a shovel in the ground May, June. So it's going to happen this year. So it's not a complexity. This is going to be happening next year. We're already set forward. We've already started the architectural. We already have the engineering done. I mean, we presumed that this was going to happen here. We have $500,000 of our own money already in play. So we've taken the risk here. So I'm saying that at some point in time, the funds that you're willing to give are not just to be the gap. It's also to allow us to open up the possibility of putting together lots and lots of programming that we may not be able to afford to do otherwise. So when you talk about our goal personally, in fact, we can get some help from the county, is to give every Washington County member, as a member of the club, a $20 per month discount for their membership fee. So if you put that in real numbers, we expect 2/3 of our members to be from Washington County. So of our 1,500 members, that's 1,000. So you look at $20 per person, that's $20,000 a month. That's $240,000 a year that we may be able to help your residents with by helping us help you. You know, we want to put together senior programs and children's programs and pickleball and other sports programs during the day, and the programming that we have will be able to be done with these grants. So the fact of the matter is, whether this grant helps us build the building, it's not what it's in question. It's whether the grant is going to help us build the building to the capabilities of doing what's in the best interest of us and the best interest of the county, and make this the envy of every project like this in the country. Because right now, nothing like this exists, and you might as well blow it out and make it the best there is, because we're going to draw regardless. So the project's
So,
go
so
forward.
I think that would be a great project for you to apply for in the future, as it's opened, and we could consider that in the future.
I'm just saying that, you know, we have to prepare to build, and how we build it comes from the funds that we have. That's just my point. So.
Sure. Okay, any other questions? Thank you. Okay, next is Center in the Woods. Project name is Securing the Future, roof replacement for Center in the Woods. Morning.
Good morning. My name is George Kreslich, and I'm the Executive Director at Center in the Woods. And with me is our Board President, Mr. Richard Kupelweiser. We're here today because we need a roof replacement on the building. Center in the Woods is one of the largest, if not the largest senior center in the state of Pennsylvania. It's 17,000 square feet. The building was built in 1993, so you can see it's 35, 36 years old. We've had a lot of roof leakage. We've had it repaired numerous times, and they're telling us there's no whole lot they can do. It just keeps leaking. We had a flat roof repaired here several years ago, and it's still leaking because the water's coming in different areas. So it's almost inevitable we have to do it, because if we don't, we're starting to, I have a lot of pictures here. As you can see, a lot of damage, and they was in the, was I passing these around? You should have them in there, yeah. But there's a lot of damage, as you can see, to the ceiling, to the flooring. We're actually have to place flooring in one of the areas because it just keeps leaking. We do have a estimate, and I know the estimate looks high, but I mean, we're just looking to see what we can get to get some repairs done there. We have no other monies to do it with, and it's very serious right now, the way the situation is. So. And it employs 15 individuals. We have several organizations that are in our building. We have the Head Start program for Washington County. We also have a preschool program. This is all with Blueprints. It's Montgomery Medical. They have a facility in there with, they have a doctor there and everything. We have a counselor there for mental health counseling. So there's beauticians. There's a lot of different people in the building. If we had to close the building, that means we can't continue to have them there either. So there's 15 people that actually are employed through the Center in the Woods because of all the other, the other renters and leases that are there.
Okay.
As George indicated, we do provide a lot of services. We also have the state representative that covers our area has an office there. So the individuals that participate in the center, and on any given day, we have 80 to 90 people that come and participate in the lunch program. And the unique thing about the Center in the Woods, the Oaks, which is a 40 apartment unit. We're attached to it with a bridge that people can come from the Oaks to the center, don't have to go outside, participate in activities such as bingo. We have music, various people that have played in bands over the years get together every Thursday and provide entertainment. There's art. There's a variety of things, and we try to do fundraising things as much as we can. The other issue that we're faced, as far as our funding that we get from the Department of Aging, it's been 7 consecutive years at the same amount. And with inflation, as we all experience, it makes it more difficult. So we're proud of Center in the Woods and things that we provide, and the fact that we have from age 6 to 99 that come to the center and participate with the medical services, the beautician, mental health. It's a wide variety of services, so it is important for us to keep it open.
All right, thank you, thank you. Any questions?
Just a quick comment. I've been there before. It's really beautiful, and the people who are there are very welcoming, and those that take advantage of it are blessed to have it. The question I have for you is, could you do with a partial, if you were able to get something, especially just for the roof, let's say, is there something you could do with even a partial amount?
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely.
We could.
I mean, if we get part of it done at least now, maybe down the road, the other part, it would.
Most critical areas that need addressed.
Most of the leakage is actually on one side of the building. I don't know if you've seen the building, it has that real high steep roof. Everything on the one side is leaking, the other side so far, I mean, it's holding up, so.
Yeah, okay. All right, any other questions? Okay, thank you.
Okay, sure.
Okay, next is Chartiers Township project is Arden Mines Force Main.
Good morning, everyone. For those that don't know me, I'm Harlan Schober, and I'm chairman of the Chartiers Township Board. And first, I'd like to thank this committee. I've been very involved in it over the years, and what you're doing to continue the work. It's helped a lot of people throughout the county, so I thank you for that. And at this time, I'd like to introduce our township manager, Jody Noble, and our township engineer, Jennifer Slagle, and they are going to present why we're asking for funds.
Thank you. Again, I'd like to thank the committee for your time as well as we present this essential sewer project for your consideration. Chartiers Township is under a corrective action plan from the DEP to provide public sewer service for the Arden Mines area of the township due to failing on-lot sewer systems in that area. These properties are too small to replace them with new on-lot systems. The township has explored various options over the years and determined that a force main is the most economical solution. However, it's still $1 million project to service approximately 25 homes. So that makes it the financial feasibility of the project unbuildable. Its financial viability is further exacerbated by the fact that an income survey of the residents in the area indicated that a majority of those residents that will be serviced by this project are in the low to moderate income category. Without this grant, the debt service for the project would be, for the PennVest loan, would be $89 a month. And when you factor in the sewer bill, it would be $124 a month for these residents. And that's even with the township's commitment to a matching $200,000 contribution for this project and the already secured $384,000 statewide LSA grant that we received. However, if you were able to award this grant request, that would bring the debt service for these residents down to $50 a month, which is much more in line with the other sewer districts that we have in the township. So we certainly ask that the committee act favorably on this project and our grant request, as it will keep these homes viable as well as eliminate illicit discharge into the stream to improve the public health and environment. Not to mention it will provide necessary infrastructure for potential growth in this area of the township.
And I'd just like to add a few technical updates, because I'm sure you don't work with sewers all the time.
But this project will install approximately 7,500 feet of a force main. So our engineers have reviewed multiple options to get the costs down as much as we could. That reduces impacts to roadway construction. This would be allowed to be directional drilled, but you've seen that with other utilities. So we can save a lot of the restoration costs. The project itself starts and will service along Washington County Fairgrounds. That's where they connect lines to. So we've really worked to get the best option to service these 25 residents. There will be options for expansion as well. And without these sewers, these properties have no option. The discharge goes directly into the stream, and that's what we're looking to clean up. The permitting is in place. The last piece that we need from DEP is our construction schedule and funding options. So once we have that, we are ready, we are shovel ready for this project. Also want to add, sewers aren't sexy, even to engineers. So, but there is a need here, and we're looking to help these people as best we can and provide an option for them to tap into public sewer.
Okay, questions?
Thank you.
Thank you.
That's scary when there's no questions.
I know.
Thank you very much.
Okay, next is Aging Services of Washington County. Project name, Cecil Senior Community Center. New floor and doors.
Okay, so good morning. The McDonald Cecil Senior Center is a thriving place. We were invited to move our center there over 20 years ago, and right now it needs a little bit of attention. Initially, that center was designed for the youth and the elderly, and it is also rented out in the evenings as a fundraiser to cover some of the utilities. We are requesting new flooring. The flooring situation there includes a dance floor, which has a lip, which is a falls hazard. And we can't have flooring like that when we're working with seniors. We're also requesting automated doors. The doors to get into the center are very difficult to open for anyone that might be a little bit weak, or difficult to open for somebody with a quad cane or a wheelchair. So that first grant request is for $63,272 to have the floor taken care of and to put automated doors entering the senior center. The senior citizens have included $2,000 of match.
Any questions?
Would partial help you get one project done and then go from there for next year, do 2 phases, something like that?
I was hoping not, but if that's the case, that's the case. Both are equally compelling.
Okay, thank you.
I'm on the next one.
Oh, you are. Sorry. You're up.
Okay, the Burgestown Area Senior Community Center. This grant, we were 22 years ago, we were donated by Ray Bologna, God rest his soul, a 5-acre tract of land at the back of our senior center. It is our most fervent goal is to make a park-like setting back there. This grant is for some fencing. We, the seniors and the neighboring houses on their land, they are encroaching onto their land. We want the fence put up, and then we want eventually to have a pavilion and a walking trail. That is extremely helpful for anyone that has the beginning of any cognitive decline. To have a place to walk that is safe. It's right behind the center. It's right behind the exercise room. This request is for $88,957, with the seniors putting $4,000 of match.
Any questions?
Now this one will take less and work with it because we have other grants that we're writing for this project. So if you are asking, would we take less, we could.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Thanks for your time.
Okay, next, Fort Vance Historical Society, project name, Fort Vance Historical Society renovation project.
Hello,
Good morning.
I'm William Caracas, and I just want to let you know it's my first time here doing this. I've just recently taken over as president of the Fort Vance, so I might not be as prepared as I'd like to be, but I'm hoping to continue and do this. And first of all, I got lost. The direction sent me up to the other one up on West Chestnut at 90 West Chestnut. So I just got here in time.
Okay.
And I do wear hearing aids, so excuse me if I ask you to repeat, or if you could talk a little bit slower or louder, I appreciate it. Thank you. Okay, I'm not sure what I'm supposed to do here. Am I supposed to give a presentation for what?
Just explain the project, in short order.
I'm sorry.
Explain the project.
Okay, go ahead. Me?
Yes.
Okay. I'm applying for the grant for Fort Vance. We had been at Burgestown Community Library since 1969 when it was first started. I joined in 2017, but in 2021 we were gifted a building. It was the old Burgestown Enterprise building. It had been vacant, but the owner stuffed it full of antique stuff. He was a collector. He passed away. His family donated the building to us along with everything that was in it. And we had plenty of stuff also at the community library, probably too much stuff. And that building being gifted to us was a big help because, we need a lot, but it does need a lot of work. It hasn't been operated for years. We've done a lot to it so far. After we took it out, we cleaned a lot of the stuff, threw a lot of stuff away, saved what we could, but it had bad roofs on. So we had a roof put on in 22, 7/13/22, roof and gutters, and that was like a $7,000 investment. And then later they put on the Burgestown community, gave money to put a roof on the back section. In 2023, we had a 200 amp breaker panel put in to the building out of our money, just to have electric there. And been doing other stuff, but we had a lot of help from the Burgestown community. The blight mitigation program has helped us out some, and they're continuing to help us out in the future. We're on the list, I think, for in the spring to have exterior stuff, the front facade. I think some of the size is a solid brick building. But we're hoping to get more of the utilities in. The grant we're asking for, I think, was going to be for the electrical and maybe a heating system that would be electrical for just the main entry of it. But once we get it operational, we'd like to have it open at least once a week, if not more. We'd like to introduce to the school districts to try to get help from youth, because boy, we desperately need some youth there. Right now, we're just working with a handful of people that are willing to work. There's a lot of members, but it's only a handful that really are helping out. If we get some more help through the high schools, Burgestown, Fort Cherry, Avella high schools, that would be great. And we have some people who come off and on to help. But mainly, that's our goal, is to get utilities in. The electric, like I said, we had a 200 amp breaker put in. So that's first on lights. We had an architect also look at it. They wrote up some stuff. I think you have that information. But we're hoping for the community. Right now, there's a big stir in the community because of that blight litigation. There's a distillery that just went in. There's a couple restaurants. The senior high rises there. I think there's an apartment building. I'm not sure if it's going to be a senior associate right next to us. They just tore down buildings.
Okay, thank you. Questions? Questions? Thank you very much.
I'm sorry,
Thank you.
is that all?
That's it.
Okay. Thank you for your time.
You bet. Okay, next is Burgettstown Borough, Burgettstown Camera Project.
How's you guys doing?
Good morning.
Good to see you again. I'm Burgettstown's Mayor Luke Snatchka, and just here to pitch to you the camera project. Burgettstown Borough doesn't have its own police force, and we contract out Smith Township, and this project is done in conjunction with them. And I'm going to focus just on the two cameras that we're looking for right in Burgettstown Borough. They're at Bridge Street and Route 18, and Route 18 and Market Street. And they're the two major intersections there with our main drag there on Route 18. And this is going to really be a tool for us. Smith Township is a large area. They only have 2 guys on duty a lot of times. So this is going to give us eyes on that intersection 24 hours a day. It's not going to be used for any enforcement activity, but more of an investigative tool and just a way to get information. The one intersection, Route 18 at Bridge Street, we've seen a lot of accidents there, more than 10 in the last few years. So we think that this camera there will give us some good information on exactly what's happening with those accidents to be able to give it to PennDOT, come up with a solution of some type, whether we need new signages, new signals, or whatever they come up with. But Smith Township does have theirs coming up at 11/10, I believe. And that'll be in conjunction with this project.
It's pretty straightforward.
Yes, sir, pretty simple.
Yep. Any questions?
Thank you, guys.
Thanks. You bet.
If I could, Luke, this is your second priority?
Pardon me?
Do you have more than one grant?
So the Burgettstown Borough did do 2. We did the Burgettstown Park yesterday. And that would be our first priority. And then this would be our second. And also, I want to reiterate, it is done in conjunction with Smith Township, and they're going to be pretty much, instituting this, and they'll be monitoring these cameras that'll be hooked up to the police department.
Okay, thanks.
Thank you.
Okay, next is Evo's Sports Bar. Project name is Revitalization of Rigo's Restaurant, Rigo's Hotel, sorry.
Sorry. Has emergency get through to my phone. I apologize for that.
You're good.
Okay, so I am the owner of Rigo's and now Evo's Sports Bar. We do have the hotel, which was built in the late 1800s, in case anybody doesn't know that. It was the Piper, and then the Wellington, and then Rigo's in 1970. My husband and I purchased that building in 2012. We closed Rigo's in 2018. Took a little hiatus from all of it and reopened as Evo's in 2021 with intentions that we want to get into renovating and getting the hotel back up and running. Charlerie has had, everybody knows, a lot of negativity rolling through there. I was born and raised there, Bellafield Township. But we think it would be an awesome thing for the community, for the oil and gas. Everybody's looking for somewhere to stay. They are right now just hotel rooms. We have a lot of ideas, maybe turning one floor, it is 2 floors. So there's 22 units, maybe turning one floor into extended living and then the other one keeping as nightly. So we're going back and forth. We did submit the application, has the numbers, and I actually spoke to a contractor that's local to us, and he's saying that he can get that probably close to half if he would do everything. And we're willing to put up half of the money to make it happen. We're looking at like 3 years. If we can't do it within 3 years, we're gonna do it in phases. So maybe 1 floor at a time, maybe the utilities, we're open to whatever we can do to make it happen. So we're invested in, like I said, we're born and raised here, we live here, we raised our kids here, they're 20 and 18 years old, and we just want
the chance to hopefully do some improvements for the Mon Valley.
Questions?
So you're right there on the corner.
I'm sorry,
What corner are you on? Right there.
6th and McCain,
Right on the main drag. And again, how old is the building?
late 1800s.
Okay, have
I
you-
don't have the exact.
So have you gotten any, have you spoken with like the Historical Society at all, or?
Well, I thought about it, but the Georgie family that owned it since forever, since 1970, they told me not to go that route because you're restricted on things that you can and cannot do.
True. Well, maybe just for the facade, but I'm just trying to think of
Yeah.
other ways. But you said you could take almost really kind of any amount, right?
Yes, yeah, that's what, and that is where we're looking to if we can't do it all at once, which of course that is the goal, to get it over with, but we will try to do it just in phases and make it happen. And my husband retires in 4 years, so we're ready to go.
You got a honey-do list 4 years long then.
Yes, exactly, right, Mr. Maintenance.
Thanks for trying to
All right.
do what you can down there.
I appreciate it. Thanks, guys, thanks for having me.
Thank you.
Sorry I was late and sorry for the ringing.
Okay, next is East Washington Borough. Project name is Police Safety and Technology Enhancement Project.
Is it okay if we stand? Or do we,
Sure,
do you prefer
sure.
to sit?
Either way.
All right, I'm Melissa Broderick from East Washington Borough,
Chief Eric Holt from East Washington Borough Police Department.
and our project is Police Safety and Technology Enhancement Project. We're asking for a small amount of money for some equipment that the department currently doesn't have. So we are asking for $33,000 in LSA. We will 10% match that with $3,700 of our borough money. And we are trying to modernize critical safety and technology equipment that directly supports officer safety, accountability, and emergency response. So this project matters because we don't have some of this equipment right now. The department got 1,400 calls last year, which is pretty significant. They don't have computers, we don't have body cameras. So without this investment, officer safety and community protection are kind of compromised in some degree.
That's what we're asking for. Like I said, just trying to catch up on technology with, I think, with surrounding police departments is just about every police department has body cameras. We do not. The whole department is part-time, including myself. So just the basic things to catch up to, like I said, the body cameras. We're trying to get computers in our cars to catch up to date with that as well. We're also looking to have AEDs, defibrillators carried in our cars, and also one on station as well. I could personally highly recommend getting an AED somewhere around because back in November, I actually personally used an AED on a person, early 40s, ended up saving their life. They had what was called the widowmaker heart attack, and they actually ended up living because of an AED assistant. So I think it's very important. We also, I know we carry a taser, but this is another department issued one. Also tasers as well. And most of other equipment, such as bulletproof vests, are distributed from other police departments full-time also in South Strabane. So that's where I get my vest. So I constantly carry a vest back and forth from both departments. There's a few officers that we have that work in our department that do not have that luxury. So we would be asking, obviously, maybe buy a bulletproof vest or two for these the officers that don't have that luxury of another department issuing them bulletproof vests. So.
The expected project outcomes are improved public safety and officer readiness, enhanced accountability and transparency through the body cameras, higher survival rates in medical emergencies with AED-equipped patrol units and having one there, and safer de-escalation options using the tasers, and stronger community trust and confidence in our local police services. So we ask for your consideration for our AEDs and this upgrade for our equipment. Do you guys have any questions?
What's the population of East Washington?
Just a hair under 2,000.
2,000.
Do you have a priority for what equipment you would want? Cameras, vests,
I think
computers, etc.
the car computers are probably last. Body cameras are really
getting pushed, especially with just being transparent. I think those are important, and I'd say AEDs are right up there with them too, and tasers probably somewhere down the bottom as just like a lower, less than lethal type option to use as a police officer. But to be truthful, I feel really naked without my taser, so it's kind of important. So just I feel like pepper spray is a little outdated, but I like the taser. So not saying I use it a lot or anything, but it's just a nice option to have. Yes, sir.
What would your ballpark dollar amount be for the body cameras?
I've had generic quotes. I was actually just looking at, and it's almost like you kind of lease these cameras because you have the cameras and then you have to maintain like a
Subscription.
subscription, the hardware, the servicing of them, the insurance of them, and everything. And I wanted to say it was up around like 5,000 per camera. Like it was.
Yeah, I think the cameras were around 10 together.
Yeah, shockingly
Computers were around 10
expensive.
together. The AEDs were around 6 or 7
Yeah.
together, and the taser was the lowest one.
But like I said, cameras were kind of important. So.
Okay. Yeah, thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you for your
so
time.
much for your time.
Real quick though, I just, I got EQT to donate 2 AEDs to a school, and 2 together was like $5,000 or something. So just wondering, how many do you need? You want them in the vehicles?
We have 2 cars, and then we wanted one at the station as well, because we hold monthly, sometimes twice a month type meetings, and just to have an AED somewhere, like if I knew one was here and something were to happen to somebody, it's so very helpful with those. So just always have one around with me.
Okay, thank you. Okay, next is Food Helpers. Project name, Food Helpers Food Bank, Campus Paving.
I'm passing out a supplement to our application. George Armour, our Greater Washington County Food Helper CEO, will use this as a guide for presentation.
Good morning, esteemed members of the Washington County LSA Review Committee. Thank you for inviting us to be here today. I'm George Omaras. I'm President and CEO for the Greater Washington County Food Bank. As you know, we're an organization that provides essential food and assistance to individuals, children, seniors, and families throughout Washington County, creating a major impact in the community. In 2025, we gave over 1,750,000 pounds of food through our community outreach programs to 1,800 families monthly. Our PBA Senior Box program to 1,900 seniors monthly, and a school-based youth nutrition program where we provide 10,000 students every month snack packs in the schools in Washington County. Washington County also has over 31,000 residents that are at the poverty rate. And many of these residents experience barriers to unlimited access to, very limited access to grocery stores, inadequate transportation, and high rates of unemployment, causing increased resilience on the community-based food assistance programs. And as all of you who have watched the media over the past 6 months have seen the increased demand for foods, as we enter 2026, that demand has not diminished in Washington County. We're seeing more and more families coming to the Greater Washington County Food Bank requesting food subsidies. In addition, we're aware that 5 of the pantries that were existing in the county were shuttered this past year. So more and more families are coming to us as their key organization to provide food. So to meet our growing demand, over the past almost 12 months, our board has been looking at trying to relocate our facility from Centerville Borough to a more central location in Washington County to be able to meet the demands. One that's larger in scope, giving us more space and access, and also accessibility to volunteers. What we do notice is that although we were fortunate 11, almost 12 years ago to purchase the property in Centerville, the core volunteers that are available there to help us pack are not as great as they are in central Washington County. We have a satellite office in South Point that was donated to us virtually by CNX. And we have a plethora of volunteers that want to come to that facility to help out every day. So we are ready. As of 3 weeks ago, we were able to secure a property in the central part of Washington County, a 29,500 square foot facility within the new Franklin Crossroads Park on West Chestnut Street in Washington. This would be lease space for us. We were looking at a 10-year lease, and our new facility will streamline our operations. It'll improve safety and efficiency for us, expand our capacity to receive larger scale surplus foods, and enhance our volunteer engagement while reducing our operational and maintenance costs. As last year, we shuttered our thrift store in Centerville and also have shuttered our farm operations to focus only on food distributions. These improvements will allow us to increase food deliveries while minimizing service interruptions. So this relocation is really going to is projected for the late summer 2026. Grant funding is critical to supporting moving cost infrastructure improvements in equipment acquisition to sustain and expand our hunger-related programs. We're asking that respectfully requesting that the LSA committee consider, we're shelving the paving project and really would love to have support for equipment that we're proposing in front of you. A list of items that the total revised request would be for $99,500 for equipment that would be necessary in this new move. Some of this equipment that we currently have cannot be moved. They're permanently in that building. To move them, it would cost double because the pieces that are now, some of them were not purchased new 11 years ago, and they are being band-aided together. So we're desperately in need of this equipment.
Any questions? Thank you. It's pretty straightforward. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you for your consideration and for your time today, and for your past support of the Washington County Food Bank.
Okay, next is Fort Cherry School District. Project name Fort Cherry Health Science Career Pathway Expansion Initiative.
Glad I made it just on time. That's awesome. Good morning, everyone. My name is Tom Samasi. I'm the Fort Cherry School District Superintendent, and I appreciate all of you taking the time to hear about our opportunity to present our health science career initiative. This project will establish a fully equipped health science lab and enable us to launch comprehensive training in CPR, AED, and first aid certification program, not only for our students, but also our staff. This initiative builds directly upon an LSA funding that we received several years ago for our Animage virtual dissection table. And we are now going to move from anatomical study to direct application of hands-on health science training for our kids. We know, as all of you know, the largest employer in Washington County is our healthcare sector. And it's our desire and our goal at Fort Cherry to provide our students with industry-recognized skills. And in addition to that, we hope that we're going to be able to provide opportunities for our kids to work with our local employers. Right across the street from Fort Cherry High School is Green's Taxi, and Mr. Bruce also owns Fort Cherry Ambulance. And he's been a great partner for us for many, many years. And in conversations with him as well, he is willing to provide our students with opportunities to meet with his personnel to talk about careers and the opportunities. He shared with me the number of jobs that he has available for trained paramedics. In addition, if you're familiar with our community, we have a number of volunteer fire departments and first responders. And our desire is to help our kids recognize the importance of community service as well. And we believe through this program, providing kids with the opportunity to meet not only with our first responders, but also Mr. Bruce and also local employers, that we can share this opportunities for careers and get our kids to stay in the Fort Cherry community. That's my entire presentation.
Okay.
Any questions?
Questions? Thank you.
Thank you very much, and I just want to thank all of you. I know you don't have an opportunity to see the impact that you make, and I know you're pulled away from your day-to-day responsibilities and what you're doing for Washington County communities. Appreciate it, and please be aware that you're making a difference for our kids in our community. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Okay, next is Mount Pleasant Township. Project name is Northern Washington County Regional Police Department Implementation.
Okay, good morning, everyone.
Morning.
Thank you for your time, as Superintendent Smosky says. And I know you guys all have full-time jobs, but you're also pulled away from to be here, so thank you. So I'm here today for Northern Washington County Regional Police Department. I work with Mount Pleasant Township. I'm the Chief of Police. To my left is Chief Tim Mott. He's the current Chief for McDonald Borough Police Department. I, for 3 years, been working towards a regional police service to consolidate and share resources, cost. Policing is becoming very expensive. The public demands many changes. Specifically earlier, I heard Chief Holt up here. Body cameras, tasers, all these needed items are becoming very burdensome for the taxpayer, but they also expect us to have it. So in our communities, we're 2 rural communities, Robinson Township, Washington County, Mount Pleasant Township, Washington County, and the McDonald Borough. We still have, with 3 communities, less resident count than many of our neighbors in Washington County. So we've been trying to get to a point where we can maintain professional police services without impacting our local residents' tax base. So what brought us here today was we have made a plan. We have begun to prepare, but now we are on the act phase where we have come to the LSA to help us not burden our taxpayers to get this started. So with a regional cost, the startup is what concerns us the most. So things that may seem small, such as the lettering on the side of the cars, the new badges, the many small things that build up really gets kind of expensive, especially when we're trying to compete with wages and save those tax dollars to the most appropriate things that are reoccurring. And all 3 communities in the last 3 to 5 years have increased taxes. Most recently, McDonald Borough went up, I believe, 2 mils. Robinson Township also increased, and Mount Pleasant has increased about 1.5 mils over the last 3 years. So they are committing, which is great, but to get us to where we would need to start successfully with regional, we would need some outside help. And being the LSA represents Washington County, at least this board, we looked at this as a great opportunity to come to you guys and seek some financial assistance for those startup on equipment and the small things that really add up. Before you guys, I know the grant proposal does list the 3-year application. I would be happy to return for each of those years. But our goal was not to come in heavy and ask for more than we thought we would need for each of those years. So we try to break it down into a 3-year process to limit what we come and ask for, because there's so many projects that come before you. We thought that trying to just truly ask for what we thought we would need to get started in year 1, try to reduce that amount in year 2, and then reduce it finally on year 3. So with that, that is my presentation. Does anybody have questions?
Questions? Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, next is Titanium Titans, Inc. Project name is STEM Education and Workforce Development Project.
Mark, they're not here yet. 10:20.
Okay. Do we happen to have Denora Volunteer Fire Department here? Okay. So project name is Water Rescue Garage.
Good morning, everyone.
Morning.
My name is Dorian King. I'm a volunteer firefighter for our volunteer fire department.
also a paramedic and a member of the Swiftwater and Dive team. This is Gordon Anderson.
Gordon Anderson, EMT, member of the Swiftwater Rescue Team and a diver also. So we started this project a couple years ago when you guys were gracious enough to award us the our dive boat double stack trailer. We didn't plan on getting the grant. We did. We were very gracious. Thank you. So we did. It was like, okay, we got it. Now where do we put it? So we kind of made a garage work, but it's not fire department ready, readily accessible, 24/7 accessible. So since then, I've gotten 3 grants, one from Washington County Community Foundation for $10,000, Norfolk Southern Railroad for $5,000, $3,000 from 93.7 to FAN, totaling 18 grand. That got us to where we are today. We have a 40 by 50 block building. We're under roof. The garage doors are supposed to be installed next week-ish, depending, okay? The balance of everything has been paid outright from the fire department from our general account. But as you know, money only lasts so long. So we are looking for $68,000 to drywall the ceiling, insulate above there, paint the ceiling and the walls, which are all block, epoxy the floor to make it safe and non-slip for our members. Install a furnace to heat the building only to around 60 degrees. And the only reason we want to heat it is because inflatable boats deflate in the cold, which adds to the response time. Obviously, we need electric for lighting and fans. I have gear racks in there to make all of our equipment, immediately readily accessible, and a gear jar to help cut down on mold from after the alarms.
In regards to the given response, the equipment currently is staged in a way that we have to move apparatus. Typically, so we have our engine, which it requires a CDL when non-emergent, and during an emergent, a firefighter can't move it. But to pull out a pickup truck to then go down to the garage, get the trailer, bring it back to the station, everyone load up and go, which in some situations is acceptable. Usually those are like planned floodings where they will stage equipment ahead of time. But there are times where a situation, what was the incident?
So on May 17th, we had a drowning. We had about 8 kids in the river swimming. I see them in the river. By the time I got to a cop to say, hey, get down there and get them kids out of the water, by that time the whistle was already blowing, the kid already drowned. So from us to go from, like Dorian said, pull the engine out, get the pickup out, put the engine away, get the pickup, go to First Street, hopefully nothing's in front of the boat, hook the boats up, drive to Menneson, deploy the boats. Here this time we were fortunate enough that our river access was not muddy. We were able just to nose everything in and bury everything in the mud. Unfortunately, the kid perished. Time is of the essence. The golden hour, 60 minutes, is from the time the kid went under till 60 minutes. So our response time is included in that golden hour.
In regards to that, so obviously our response time could have been greater. Now, would it have necessarily changed the outcome? Probably not, but we don't want that to happen in the future going forward. So we would like to improve our response time and to have everything staged and ready to go. That's why, our bunker gear is set up in a way, quickly put on, as you see how things are set up. That's why today we are asking for, again, the $68,000 to cover the remainder of what we've already invested in the garage so that we can have everything staged, set up in a way that's cohesive for providing these responses to both the area. And as you can see over the last probably 2 years, the weather has gotten progressively worse in regards of like flooding and storms. So we figure this is something that's going to be continuing and ever growing.
To give you a rundown, when I list the place we've been, as divers and swiftwater rescue, they're 2 separate incidents, but all the equipment and the people are cross-trained. Okay? So as divers, we've been to Sutersville, Creek Falls, which is in Turkeytown, if you're familiar with that, North Huntington Township. We've been called to New Eagle, obviously Denora, Benwood, West Virginia, Elizabeth Township, and Elizabeth Borough. I have personally been to Ligonier, Smithton twice, Bradenville, which is up by Latrobe, Bridgeville, then we went to Charleroy, Mingo Creek. I can't even count how many times we've been at Mingo Creek now. And if you're familiar with the guy that got, the car that got pushed off the bridge in Morgantown into Cheat Lake, we were part of that recovery also. We went down as ice, surface support for ice rescue. So the garage is gonna house the double stack trailer that you guys helped us get, our single trailer that holds 2 inflatable boats, and our dive trailer. To add on to that, we are recognized by PEMA as a 3A water rescue team, and that just tells the 3A represents the amount of equipment and personnel you're bringing to the scene, so everybody knows what's coming. Washington County, North Strabane, and Charleroy, them are your 3 water teams in this county. On June 14th, we were alerted but we never went anywhere, so this is part of the problem. So as Dorian was saying about getting ready, like June 14th, we were, Dan Harvey called me and says, hey, storms are coming, get your guys ready. Got it, Dan, we make it happen. The next day, North Strabane's going down to Ohio County in West Virginia to help with that tragedy. So that means we have to backfill if something here happens. So then again, the pagers never went off, but we're still hooked up, ready to go. Then July 26th, when Avella got flooded, we were on our way to assist North Strabane, but it never happened. So the garage would allow us to back the trucks in, hook everything up, and let them sit there. That we can go home with our families until that we are needed. We are also part of the Region 13 asset, which is the 13 counties in southwestern PA. I attend monthly meetings with them, and we are an asset as a dive team and a surface water rescue team. And January 10th, which was 4 days ago, we were actually on the water for a possible jumper. Or 6 days.
Okay.
The water temperature was a lovely 40 degrees.
Okay, thank you.
We were ready to.
So the 68,000 ask completes the project. Okay. Wonderful. Okay.
Cost of the furnace, you mentioned a furnace, I don't see it in the notes.
I got that late. 12 or 11,000. That'll be from Ricky DeLatry Corporation in Denora. He just got me the quote late.
Okay, other questions?
Just a comment, you guys, thank you so much for what you're doing down there. And I know this is really painful for a lot of you who had to go on that call, knowing that it was going to take so long to get there and what the result was, but thank you for that. I also know 2 things. Number one, because of the change in the depth of the pool, you know, it's really, really difficult to get down there with any kind of equipment, and you guys risked, you know, a lot trying to get that boat in the water down there. Last and finally, it's just amazing how many communities that you serve, and what you have to go through, and I really appreciate what you're doing. Thank you.
We go from Elizabeth Borough all the way up to Stockdale.
In relation to the boat launch, is the new garage going to be located near the boat launch or no?
I didn't put a tape measure on it, but if you're familiar with Denora, our garage is at the First Street Railroad crossing, and the boat ramp, if you can self-approve it, will be at Apex, which is the old Polycom. So talking half a mile. Half a mile.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Is the Titanium Titans here?
They are, but they're getting it ready. So, I mean, if you can do the next one and then do them, is that okay?
Okay, sure. Okay, next we're going to move to Mariana Outdoorsman's Association. Project name Mariana Outdoorsman's Association Construction.
Hi, everyone. I'm Jason White, the Executive Director of the Mariana Outdoorsman. This is Jeff Scanlon, representative of Vanilla USA. It's Matt Leeper. Matt's passing around a strategic plan that we partnered on with Washington County, kind of laying out our plan of attack for not only what we've accomplished over the past 19 years, but kind of looking ahead regionally, considering our unique facilities, accommodations, partnerships, relationships we built. The LSA application itself, I'll go into it real quick, is to finalize construction work that we've been working on Daniels Run tributary, 10 Mile Creek tributary, which are necessary accommodations and infrastructure. So when we talk about economic development with business parks, sewage, water lines, et cetera, when you're dealing in the outdoor industry, it's completely different. So the better the habitat, the better the construction we can have, the more people that we can bring from as far away as Costa Rica to upstate New York, Florida. We become, I would say, a state-of-the-art facility. Jeff, you can highlight about that, the uniqueness of what we have, the diversity.
I've been in the outdoor industry for over 15 years with some pretty big brands that you might recognize. The outdoor industry is a $10 billion industry. What's interesting about the outdoor industry is there is a conservation tax on every firearm and fishing equipment purchase that returns back 10% to the community. So anything that is spent in the outdoor industry is literally reinvested back in. MOA is a unique location and an asset for the county that a lot of people that are not in the outdoor industry do not realize. The county has a jewel here. This is world-class trout fishing, world-class creeks with an infrastructure that can be put in that gives the average person in the county access to something that people would be spending $2,000 to $3,000 to fish at Nemacolin or some of the other trout unlimited streams within the tri-state area. This is something that Washington County has that no other county in the 13 counties other than Fayette has. Jason's access to the normal person is $65 to have world-class trout fishing. And this is families fishing together, being together, outdoor atmosphere. At Daniels Run, the day pass there for $65 with a camping spot is actually cheaper than if you went to Ohio Pal and spent the weekend camping. Ohio Pal is $95 just to camp at Ohio Pal. So this environment is something unique and a true asset to Washington County. So it's not just what can be a member for this, but it's also what is available and what separates Washington County from other counties in the tri-state area. I do think Washington County has a unique story to tell, and we can really help the residents and landowners utilize what they have to be able to give the sportsmen of the tri-state area across the country. And to give you an idea, I just shot a video. We had a film crew come in from Atlanta. We did a film highlighting Washington County at Jason's facility, showcasing Sunday hunting, which is something that's new to Pennsylvania, not new to the rest of the country. But that video is going to be posited over 3 million people between Safari Club International, Denali USA, Burris, and some of the other partners that I work with. So we're showcasing Washington County and using MOA to help do that.
I also want to highlight the fact that the goal is to draw people to Washington County 365 days a year, where there's too many people and organizations, oil and gas organizations that are going to other counties and other states to do fundraisers. Our goal here is to draw people to Washington County 365 days a year. And I want to stress the fact that whether it's fishing, upland bird hunting, 1,000-yard rifle range, long distance shooting, you have very unique and different demographics which draw people. And again, as Jeff said, the monies that are generated and spent not at our facility, that are spent at hunting stores, clothing stores, buying different paraphernalia, it goes into conservation taxes that go back to the general public on public lands. So there's a greater benefit as a whole to all of this. And I also want to highlight the fact that we are the only property in the state of Pennsylvania that's partnering with Penn State University right now with artificial intelligence to help combat crop damage, which is killing the agricultural industry. We actually have cell phone cameras that are set up, linked back to Penn State University to quantify with technology. So we have partnerships with that university, also Bethany, W&J, getting kids involved with project management, environmental science, and a lot of other things. So we have a bright future and certainly appreciative of however the county can support us.
Okay, questions? All right, thank you very much. Okay, next, Amwell Township, Dynamite Bridge Replacement Project.
You want to do titanium?
Oh, yes.
Sorry.
Sorry, next will be Titanium Titans. Project name is STEM Education Workforce Development Project. I know.
Park this right here while we are doing our presentation.
All right, good morning, everyone. I'm Dan Chismar. I'm the president of the Titanium Titans. We're a 501c3 nonprofit serving Washington County. We teach students essentially K through 12 STEM and workforce development skills. We're a nonprofit run by 100% volunteers, and we have no paid employees. So we want to present to you today a little bit about organization and why we're looking for your support. With that, I'm going to turn it over to Logan and Ava.
Hello, my name is Ava Chismar. I'm a current senior on the Titanium Titans.
And I'm Logan Hollywood. I'm also a current senior on the Titanium Titans.
So every year we have a brand new game that comes out, completely different every single year. And from that point on, we have about 6 weeks to design, manufacture, and build our robot. This is our robot from the 2024 season. And we learn everything from machining and as well as programming. What we do is we always ensure that everybody is very safe on our team. If it cannot be done safely in the workshop, it is not done at all. We require personal protection equipment, including safety glasses, as well as occasionally some gloves. We also have a First Tech Challenge team. The First Tech Challenge teams do a very similar game to us, where every year it's a completely different build season. Logan can talk a little bit more about the FTC teams.
Yes, so between both of our levels of our larger robots and the more middle school and high school team, as I mentioned, the First Tech Challenge, the idea is both learning the technical skills. We have a fully functioning machine shop. We have a CNC router. We have a lathe. We have a mill. We have 3D printers, of course. All of these parts are machined and made entirely by us students. So all of the custom parts you see over there on that robot, we've made in-house, learning to work those machines. All of the wiring on that robot is done entirely by students. So we learn how to do crimps, we learn proper electrical wiring. We learn even some basic electrical engineering principles. And it's all done entirely by the students at all levels, even starting as low as elementary or middle school.
Throughout our build season, we also focus on helping other teams in the greater Pittsburgh region. We help teams in the Pittsburgh public school system help build their own robots. They also make their parts in-house. Sometimes they will even come over to our build space. And recently we got a brand new space to build our own practice field to practice driving our robots on. So now teams from all over the greater area in southwestern Pennsylvania, as well as teams in Steubenville, Ohio, and Menneson, Pennsylvania, are coming over to our space to practice with their robots.
Our goal is not only to have students build the robots, but also to have the robots build the students. On our teams, you learn not only just the pure technical skills of learning how to run a machine shop, learning how to assemble, but also learning how to work with other students in almost like a work cell manufacturing and assembly facility. So we have from the machine shop to the design to the assembly. You're always constantly learning to work with the other students, work with the other teams, and it creates a really well-rounded student ready to go off and learn into the into the workspace, ready to go and run those machines already knowing how to work in a team with machines, and in a team in assembly.
In the past 4 years, all of our students have graduated from high school and 97% have pursued a STEM career in college. We also have a whole mentor network that will help ensure that those students can get a job and job placement. A lot of students are very sought after from our program into companies because they understand that they know the soft skills of working with others and working efficiently. Additionally, tons of colleges and universities look for us as FIRST robotics students. Some schools like Case Western Missouri even offers scholarships for specifically FIRST robotics students. Other than our outreach with FIRST Robotics in the Pittsburgh area, we are very interactive in the Washington County community. We participate in tons of parades. You've probably seen us at the Whiskey Rebellion, and we also are at the Washington County STEM Fest every year. Other than those, we host some week-long camps that Logan can talk about.
Yes, so most recently over this last summer, we ran 2 different camps. We ran one on electrical and programming, and another one on design and manufacturing, where between the 2 camps, students would learn to build a small kit for an LED tug-of-war project. So on the electrical programming side, they learned how to make the circuit, how to wire the circuit, use Arduinos to program it, and then over on the manufacturing side, they learned how to design a case for it, how to customize that case. They cut it out on the CNC router and the laser cutter. And by the end, each student had a whole box that they could use to play tug of war using an LED strip. All the while teaching just the same hard and soft skills that we use on our larger scale robots, but in a shorter and much more easier to approach form factor.
As for what we do for elementary school students, we will go to different elementary schools to present about our robot, as well as we run our own individual camps. They're day-long camps where students get to build their own sumo bot, like a BattleBot style Lego robot. And this teaches them how to work with 3 people that they've never worked with before, work in a very small time frame because the camp is about 4 hours. And they learn tons of different things from how to work with gears, how to program a robot, and also how to work and be professional even when you lose. Because a lot of them they love seeing their robots compete on that field.
Very good, very good. This is very, very impressive. It is. I do have a question, just fascinated to know, a personal question. What are your plans, you two, when you're both in high school, seniors? So you're going to be making decisions here quickly.
Yep.
What are your plans?
My personal plan, at least, is I plan to go into college, a 4-year college at the very minimum, get a degree in computer engineering, and then continue to work on robots, specifically in search and rescue fields. I'm actually currently working in high school I have a project ongoing about using drones in the search and rescue field.
For me, I want to do a dual degree in vocal performance and mechanical engineering. And if I have any time in between, I would like to do a manufacturing career, just like on the side while I'm in college. So I'm planning on trying to be a CNC operator because I do a lot of CNC machining. And the vocal performance and mechanical engineering, they're just both things that I've absolutely adored for so long because of what Titans has brought up to me. I've always been in Titans programs since I was in elementary school with a first Lego League team first. And then I did a lot of different workshops with them, and then I eventually joined the team. And every year, it's just so much more exciting.
There are companies will hire you right now.
I have been to, not necessarily through Titans, but I've been to Power to Create, PTC. I was to one of their offices during a school trip, and I had the manager of that office say, "When can I hire you?" This was 2 or 3 years ago now.
Sure. Very, very impressive. I assume you both are good in math. It's like it's a given, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, very, very, very nice. Very.
Does your groups have any interaction with CMU? I know they're big with robotics.
We will work, CMU also will have a first robotics team, the Girls of Steel. And so we work closely with them. We are good friends with that team. We don't work directly with the university themselves, but we have used their facilities for each year at the start of our 6 weeks, we have an event called Kickoff. That's when we learn what our game is for each year. We actually had that just last week. And so we've used the CMU facilities for Kickoff. We help organize and run a large Pittsburgh-wide kickoff. I believe we had 8 teams last week, along with one of our state representatives.
And I know that there is somebody at Pitt right now that is an alumni from our team that is actually working at the Robotics Institute at CMU in the workshop right now.
Very good, very good. Any other questions?
Gary.
Okay.
I'm assuming from your parts list, this would create 4 robots?
So the parts list, it's enough to create a robot plus some. So right now, I guess we have 3 robots that we're building each year, sometimes 4. So the parts are designed for our FTC team, which is the middle school age group, which are smaller robots than this, and then the large parts to handle hopefully 1 season for the upcoming event. Usually for a season, we spend 30,000 plus in parts just for this robot, as an example. And we start with the middle school team, you're into another 10,000 or more with the 2 robots we end up building with the middle school teams and such. And one challenge we have with the robot parts is kind of like a computer. When you go to put in for a computer, a year from now, that computer is already a year old. It's not state of the art. So we're always trying to keep on top of some of the parts. We try to reuse as much as we can to help keep our costs down. But in the end, we end up spending 30,000+ for the older students and over 10,000 for the middle school students just in parts alone.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
If we have no more questions, would anyone like to see a short demo of this robot?
Sure.
This robot, as Ayla said, is from our 2024 season. Unfortunately, some of the functionality has been lost as we have had to recycle some parts of this robot. However, the basic core function, the picking up and shooting of these orange donuts, that functionality still remains.
So the game was we had to take these notes, is what the game piece is called, and we had to shoot them almost into like an oven hood. And afterwards, we would, at the end of the game, we would go and climb up. We recently recycled those parts of our climbers, and also they're not the most outreach friendly because they're a little sharp. So, but to give you an idea about how many parts and motors we have on this, we have a power distribution hub that is all slots are filled. And just for the drive base alone, it takes up 8 motors, 4 for drive, 4 for steer.
So we have about 20 or so motors on this robot, and I would say probably around another 8 or 10 discrete sensors outside of the ones built into the motors. Along with, whenever it was fully complete, it had an extra 2 cameras on the front for figuring out where it is on the field. So the robot is now enabled. Ava, do you wish to catch it?
Yeah, sure.
So this is on a very low power, mainly meant for outreach and demos. If I put it onto full power, we would be shooting out ceiling tiles.
Oh, absolutely. That's round fun.
It typically is in those cases, in most places that we present that.
And so we would pick up these game pieces off of the floor on the actual field, and it's super efficient.
As I mentioned before, some functionality has been slightly lost or is no longer as efficient as what it was, as we've had to recycle parts and rebuild parts of this robot. Okay. Additionally, as you can see, the notes are very beaten up. They are very old, and some of their functionality is also degraded. However, we are at least able to get one shot off to show kind of the core principle of what this robot is. Again, every single year we have an entirely brand new robot. We have already begun working on a design for this year's robot, where we have 6-inch foam balls that we can carry as many as we want, and have to also shoot them, this time really up high into almost like a basketball hoop.
Okay. All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
I'm assistant. Brandon, let's bring working together.
So you have a chance to perform with the Washington Symphony over the summer. Have you ever go to the Washington Symphony at all?
Okay. Okay, next up is Emwell Township Dynamite Bridge Replacement Project.
Follow that.
I use your app.
Okay.
Morning.
Good morning.
Todd Hartley from Animal Township, Terry Carroll, Parchment Group, requesting monies for bridge replacement on Dynamite Road, asking approximately $156,000. We're matching $75,000 toward engineering permitting, inspections, road restoration, and paving. You can see from the pictures, this bridge is approximately 90 to 100 years old, and the pictures in there where the combine fell through the bridge, that bridge is on the other end of this road. It was approximately the same age. That combine went through there October of 2022. So that was an emergency, you know, and that bridge was out for 6 months. So we're trying to be proactive and not have this happen. We have approximately 15 bridges in the township, and we have replaced 3 over the last 3 years. This specific bridge, I can remember my dad telling the township supervisor, it was 30 years ago, that something about trying to get Consol to pay for the bridge because of, you know, longwall mining, but that never happened, so. And we patched it over the last several years. Some of the pictures you can see, there's beams that were donated by PennDOT, used beams that we've supported, you know, the one side. The guardrails, homemade out of PennDOT beams, donated.
So this would be a complete demolition and replacement for 192. That's the
The total project with the
total
township.
project, yeah. So to do all that for 192.
Yep.
Okay.
And the township match is going to cover the paving portion of the project. So the funds from LSA are requested only for the prefabricated aluminum box culvert that will serve as the base of that bridge structure going in there. And again, this is as Scott mentioned, this is a rural community, but it's a vital connector. There's 3 bridges on that road. One of them had a combine go through it and an emergency fix had to happen. We don't want another emergency fix. And we don't want this road to be out for 6 months. We want it to be out for a number of weeks while the contractors do it. So that's why we're seeking funding, and the township is more than happy to put up a hefty amount of match funding to get this one done.
And it's approximately 500 feet off of Route 40. So.
Okay, questions? All right, thanks. Thank you very much. Okay, next is Morris Township. Project name, Morris Township Bulk Water Station. Good morning.
So my name is Patrick Bracy. I'm a supervisor of Morris Township, Washington County. Scott Finch is here as well. He's the supervisor. We have a water issue in Morris Township. We're a very rural area. We're straight down 18 from here, southern part of the county. We have a large amount of coal influence there that's taken properties. We're rural. Most of our people rely on wells that are susceptible to coal mine and other mining and energy changes. So we are submitting for a phase 1 engineering design for a bulk water station in our township. The reason we think our township would be a good spot is we're located on the main corridor for a lot of townships. To get to East Findlay, chunks of West Findlay, and you go right through Prosperity, Morris Township. So it would benefit everyone in that region that's rural. I would say that to get water now in the area, you have to drive to Graysville, which is Greene County, or to Rough Creek, which is Greene County. So during these last 2 years of droughts, farmers and residents have had to load up water buffaloes, drive 30 minutes one direction, fill it up, come back home, put it in their tank, repeat tomorrow or the next day. So as we look at trying to build, our population's been hit by the coal industry. To bring residents into our area, knowing that a lot of the households are susceptible to this, maybe not now, but will be in the future, it's a real struggle for us. So I think if we had something in our area that would benefit bringing people into the rural community we have, because our population has decreased over the last 20 years, it would be a real asset for us and for our surrounding townships. We said we're on the main corridor. Route 18 runs from here to the people in northern Greene County could utilize this. Everyone has to go to great ways to get clean drinking water, and it's a real problem for us. So this is just for the phase 1. I think we'd like to get phase 1 on engineering, and then we'll look at how to fund the construction of it after.
I want to bring attention, Pat did an excellent job, but there's 7 letters of support from the surrounding municipalities attached. This is truly a regional project, despite the fact that obviously Morris Township is the applicant. This is a very widespread problem and something that the entire region is going to benefit from and really supports, because they've all got issues with water.
Yeah, it's if you don't have water problems yourself, we're from, somebody very close to you that does, and that's not an exaggeration. It's a real problem, especially the last 2 years. It's become a highlight of water buffaloes going down the road every day. So that's all. Question?
So the in Morris, most of it's been mined now. Are you still?
Maybe half.
Half of it? Okay.
Yeah.
Now you still have you still have a lot of drilling.
Yes.
Yeah, most of it, the pad's already drilled.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
You're going with the same design as West Pike Run is, correct?
That's what basis of design is for right now, yep.
Okay, because I use that for my home and my church.
Yeah, okay, you're familiar with it.
Oh, yeah, very nice.
Yeah, it works well for you guys? Yeah.
Yes, with the corridor and everything. It's
I
really
came there and visited it and when we were kind of doing our homework on this, and I thought it was a really nice system.
Yeah, did Rich give you the, some of the
Yes, I had the drawings and everything, yeah. I've talked to the manufacturer, yep.
Yeah, I was the guy you got them off of.
Great.
Yeah, I was trying to get one at my house, so.
Great.
Fully support it.
Thank you very much. Yeah, if you've ever had this problem, you realize how big of a nuisance it is to not have. I mean, you take it for granted, right? You turn the faucet, it comes out. That's a lot of people, and there's a lot of cows and horses and sheep that you've committed to that now is a big burden in your life. So.
Sure. Have you approached the energy companies?
The
This looks like a project, right, made for CNX, Consol, EQT, Range, whoever's drilling.
Yeah, I think for the construction phase, we do that. We want to get the engineering done, locate where it's going to go, look at the water line extension. And then I think we'd approach them and help fund the construction.
Okay, any other questions?
Yeah, so I got a couple questions. I think you just answered the one, I'm concerned about I forget how much that one was, $400,000, something like that. So one of my questions was, how do you pay for it? It sounds like beyond the study, you don't know yet, which is fine.
Well, I think this phase will help us determine how we pay for it, because with this is going to determine location, right? There's HOP permits. There is water into Prosperity and for the first maybe 100, 200 yards south. So if we can find a spot in that area that it would make construction more feasible. We're also working on trying to get the energy companies to help us extend water lines to a lot that may be more accessible or better for us. So we don't know how big that nut is until we do this, and then we can work on the funding. But this is kind of step one. I think this is the first domino.
I think I remember reading something in the application that said or referenced that the thought process behind this is temporary until you get full water line extension. My only concern is that's very far down the road. So is it being designed in a manner that's not necessarily temporary?
Yeah, sorry, in speaking with that application, the idea was, I just wanted to mention that we acknowledge that, this is a problem mostly from mining and some other issues, drought, climate, things like that. But that even if, this is a stopgap solution that we absolutely need because people need water, right? Maybe 10, 20, 30 years down the road, we will have those water line extensions. And this is still going to be useful then, we can still be using it at that point. It's absolutely being designed to be a permanent fixture, not a temporary structure in any.
Yeah, my concern is it was being designed for a 10-year life, and then it takes 20 years to get the pipe. So, yeah, okay, sure. All right, thank you.
The big thing, one of the big things as supervisor, our base is, our population is, not to keep going on fire, you can cut me off anytime, but our population is really dwindled with the coal companies and gas companies. And when people look at it, one of the first questions they ask is the water situation. And if it's bad and they have to drive 40 minutes, then we're off the table for bringing new homes, new kids, new families. It's impossible. So this would really open up a big avenue for us, for residents to move back into and make it a community again. So.
Okay, thank you. Okay, next is Midway Volunteer Fire Department. Project name, Borough Volunteer Fire Department Building Accessibility Project. Okay, thank you. Thank you.
Good morning. My name is Dale Barrett. I'm the treasurer and assistant fire chief for Midway Fire Department.
And I'm Doug Barrett. I'm the volunteer fire chief for the department.
This is a combined project. The municipal building is with the volunteer fire department. They're upstairs, along with the borough offices, the sewer authority offices, and the borough chambers, which is the hall itself. And it's an official polling place. Also that inhabits the area is Midway Athletic Association, Lions Club, and senior citizens use this facility as well. It is the heart of the community. Also, it's a backup for Memorial Day or Veterans Day. If we have inclement weather, we come to our place there. With that being said, the safety of the project is the main concern. That an unsafe emergency exit on a porch is collapsing, falling in. An ADA compliant sidewalk, which goes from, if anybody knows about Midway, we're with bridges or arches from the old railroad, and the Panhandle Trail runs right through the middle of the municipality. And from that bridge arch around to get on top of the bridge to the walking trails. The sidewalks deteriorating. And we've been patching it from there on, and we need it accessible, handicap accessible from there. The ADA reconstruction or renovation of a bathroom, we do have a paid staff at the fire department, and the cancer presumption and the fire service today, not only with cancer related, but any facility, any active scene we go on, could be anything. So as our paid staff comes back, they have a place to shower off. And now we don't have a shower facility. We send them home, but we need our staff there during the day because the volunteers is low. So upgrade and make it an ADA restroom because there is a laundromat behind us. People coming down use it. And believe it or not, the biggest is Halloween. Kids and families go trick or treat. They say, you have a restroom facility. So we need to update it for ADA and for our firefighters to come back from any incident. It doesn't have to be a fire, it can be a medical, anything with this society today. So other part of the projects, like I said, I mentioned the polling place and a couple other, and it's a warming and cooling center for the municipality. Obviously, inclement weather comes in, we've been out of power and things of that nature. That's where the HVAC units come in. We have 4 now, that 2 of them are down and replaced with new upgraded. They're 40 years old. And to replace them with 2 more efficient units to handle the cooling center and or warming center at this facility also. And Midway is a community, but we're surrounded by other community, which are population of, well, Midway Borough, Robinson Township, Smithtown, and Mount Pleasant Township, that we can have the residents need a cooling or a warm center to go to. They can come to us instead of their municipality have their own boat. We're closer to Midway. So it's not only for us, it's for everybody, all the residents surrounding our municipality. So with that being said.
Okay, questions?
You got several projects with partial funding to get you guys moving.
Yes, yes. As you see from the pictures of the restroom and the deteriorating porch and everything like that.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, next is City of Washington. Project name is Hannah Street Storm Sewer Repair Project.
I'm Rich Cleveland, City Administrator, City of Washington. We're here today to ask for $130,000 to help us manufacture and correct our storm sewer grade system. This is Sam Carroll with Harshman, and I think you know Terry. So I'm going to let Sam be more technical than I am.
Thank you, Rich. Committee members. So the Hannah Street Storm Sewer Project, just to put you in the idea where this is, we're only a block off of East Main Street where the tunnel is located. As you can see from the pictures, it's severely deteriorated. It's about 11-foot wide, 2-foot tall box culvert. And when they did this in the 90s, they didn't have enough room to put precast concrete tops on the tunnel. There's a section just up from it where they had more headspace. They were able to do that. It's still in beautiful condition. Unfortunately, this section where they put metal grading and then concreted over the top of it has thoroughly deteriorated. You can see in the first picture in your packets the light through the tunnel. Try to avoid lights at the end of the tunnel, but couldn't on this one because there's a hole through the spieling up into the street. This road's used by local residents and also several businesses that have heavy trucks for their business. So it's really vital that we get this open. As I mentioned, it's been closed since our inspection on February of last year. So a little over a year now, they've been trying to avoid it and detour it the best as possible. It's about 120 feet section of this metal decking section like you see here. And I think just what's happened is over the years, the side that's bad is the side along the curb. And the concrete contractor put this in, pointed out that that's the salt running down the side of the sidewalk up against the edge. It's kind of rusted out these beams. What you see there is the beams that go across the width of the culvert, and the side up against the curb, they're pretty much completely gone. So that's why we're starting to see settlement of this roof of the culvert. And the idea behind this project, we're basically going to peel the tin can roof off the top of it and go back in now with new concrete technology. We're able to put precast concrete sections and finish this off in a way that hopefully I won't have to deal with for the rest of my career.
Any questions? Okay, it's pretty straightforward. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, next project. City of Washington Park.
Yes, you know who I am. No, Terry. This is Joe Thomas. He's the director of the Parking Authority. And Rodney Jones, who is the chairman of the board of the Parking Authority. We're here today to make a request to replace the equipment in the parking garage, which is behind you.
I would note, we also have one other member of our Parking Authority board present. Mr. Price is the county's representative on the Parking Authority board. I'm going to defer to Terry to do the primary presentation, and I'll try to assist with any other information or respond to questions that you might have.
So we're all probably pretty familiar with the Crossroads parking garage. Many of us probably used it today. So obviously it's a critical public facility in this downtown area, serving residents, obviously county employees, legal professionals, visitors, service offices, all in this county building. We're very familiar. Unfortunately, at this time, the existing parking control system is outdated. It's original to the parking garage, put in around 2008, right? And at this point, not only is it unreliable at times, but it's causing operational challenges and serious maintenance issues because many of the parts and pieces are now obsolete and cannot be replaced. So the city is seeking about $142,000 in funding to install a new parking access and revenue control system to modernize operations, improve convenience, and enhance the system's reliability. This key upgrade will be modernized in many ways that we've seen, in other places and other parking facilities. Mobile payment integration, online validation, real-time dashboard monitoring and reporting, cash and credit payment on foot stations or in vehicle, network redundancy, all those sorts of things. Obviously, this is going to have great impact. We're going to lead to less revenue loss, less delays, less public frustration, more efficient movement in and out of the parking garage, and we're expecting up to a 15% increase in garage utilization overall. Did I miss anything, Joe?
No, as to reiterate part of what Terry said, ZAG was the manufacturer of the original equipment that's there. They've since been acquired by Hub Parking. It's based out of Warrendale. Hub is actually over at the garage today trying to do maintenance on one of our pay station machines. They were here earlier in the week trying to assist with a malfunction that's been an ongoing problem at one of the entry gates. So, Hub has been very good to work with, but because the equipment is at this point closing in on 20 years old, it's just becoming more difficult to maintain it and for Hub to find the component parts to be able to replace malfunctioning components to the equipment. So what we're proposing would be new loops that are in all 6 traffic lanes, new gates, and new pay station equipment. This new system is available through CoStars, so that's a cost savings as well. And one of the features of this system, in addition to allowing credit card payments at the pay station machines, you'd actually, if you have a smartphone, the entry gate tickets will have a QR code on them. You'd be able to scan the QR code with your smartphone and do a mobile ticket payment that way without ever actually going to the pay station.
Okay, questions?
So I'm just curious if, earlier we saw a demonstration by the robot team. I'm curious as to whether or not you set up the malfunction yesterday evening, was experienced as a demonstration. From my understanding, there are at least one person here in the crowd that had to wait for the police to come to let them out of the garage yesterday. So.
Not confirmed or not.
That has become more frequent of a problem, unfortunately. But I will say I've seen the new equipment that we're proposing to purchase in operation several of the Pittsburgh Parking Authority garages. My brother and I go to sporting events sometimes over at what I still call Heinz Field. We've used the QR code equipment. It functions quite well. There's fewer moving parts in the machines, so there's less stuff to break down. I can't guarantee that it will be problem-free. I'm not naive, but hopefully it will resolve some of the problems we have. And that magnetic strip tech, honestly, with the permit parkers, we have almost no issues. It's the people who come and get the paper tickets who pay on an hourly basis. And that magnetic strip technology that's associated with those paper tickets is also just kind of an outdated technology. So barcodes, QR codes are the more current method of doing things, and this new system that we're proposing to buy would allow us to transition from the barcode, the magnetic strip technology to a QR code.
Bro, just the last question I'll have, and then I'll shut up. But we always ask as far as partial funding goes. So if we're able to get toward partial funding, how do you pay for the rest of it? What's the plan if you don't get any funding?
So we do have, the Parking Authority has a capital and long-term maintenance fund. Achieving funding through this process would stretch that fund further. So that's why we've come to try to, we've tried to sort of get the biggest bang for the buck by seeing if we could apply for grants that would assist in covering the cost of that technology. The last time we came to LSA for funding was probably about 10 years ago when we replaced the overhead lighting in the garage with the LED lighting system. We supplemented that funding, and we would be doing so again with this. The cost, what we're asking for would not be the full cost of replacing the system. So we would be taking money out of the capital and long-term maintenance to cover the cost of installing the system.
Great. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, thanks. The City of Washington, next project. City of Washington Police Department, the project named City of Washington Police Radio Equipment Upgrade.
Yes, so this is Steve Pavinia, our police chief. John Ritz, our police captain. You know Terry.
First and foremost, thank you for giving us this opportunity to come before your board. I'm going to adhere to my wife's suggestion and just say, stay with the script and just read what you prepared. So with that being said, today I'm requesting funding for 20 police portable radios to address the critical equipment shortfall created during the county's 911 radio system overhaul. This request directly impacts officer safety, dispatcher awareness, and the security of our new emergency communications network. As many of you are aware, the county is currently upgrading the 911 radio system. A necessary and long overdue project that will significantly improve interoperability, security, and emergency response by all first responders, police, fire, EMS, and light. As part of the upgrade, Motorola is supplying new radios to all fire, police, and EMS providers in the county. However, for police departments, those radios are allocated based on the number of police vehicles that a department has, not by the total number of officers. As a result of this equation, the City of Washington Police Department, made up of 30 full-time police officers, will only receive 10 portable radios. Our department is one of the largest departments, if not the largest department in the county. We average around between 7,000 and 9,000 calls of service yearly. Our department is probably one of the busiest whenever it comes to the violent criminal offenses and drug offenses within the county. Despite the operational demand, 2/3 of our officers would not be issued a portable radio under the current application. This creates a serious safety and accountability gap. Portable radios are not operational equipment. They're life-saving tools. New radios being deployed through this upgrade include critical safety features. Each radio identifies the individual end user and the officer when their radio transmission is made to 911. Dispatchers can instantly see who is calling for help and where they are. Emergency alerts are tied to a specific officer, not just a radio. New radios will also provide a more secure communication between 911 and other officers. This will prevent public monitoring to help ensure officer safety and reduce operational risk during particularly active critical incidents. This capability improves dispatcher response accuracy, enhances officer safety, and protects the security and integrity of the new network that's being put together. Without sufficient portable radios, these features cannot be fully utilized. Without funding for these additional radios, officers may share equipment across shifts, which will result in poor battery life, shorter lifespan of the radios due to increased risk of being damaged or destroyed during the normal and sometimes not so normal field operations of the officer. Dispatchers will not know which officer is transmitting in an emergency. Emergency button activation may be delayed or misidentified. Officer safety may be compromised during violent encounters, drug investigations, work pursuits, or multi-officer, multi-department critical incidents. In a department as busy as ours, seconds matter and clarity ends up saving lives. We're requesting funding, as Mr. Cleveland said, for 20 portable radios that are fully capable with the 911 radio system, equipped with the officer identification safety features, and are immediately deployable to frontline officers so that when the switchover occurs, which I believe is going to be third quarter, fourth quarter of 27, from day one from Jump Street, we'll be able to handle any incident that we were presented with, whether it's in the city, county, or state. Cost effective, again, this is a one-time request that I come before you to correct a statewide shortfall, shortfall. I'm confident that our department is not the first, nor will be the last that will come to you and ask for this grant. However, addressing it now will maximize the county's investment in the new system, reduce liability, and protect both the officer and the citizen. Closing, the city of Washington is not just where I work. It's my hometown. It's where I was born and raised. This request is made so that the first responders of the great city of Washington have the tools they need to stay safe and provide the highest level of service to the residents of the city of Washington and surrounding communities. For funding these 20 portable radios, you are directly investing in officer and public safety, secure emergency communications, and effective law enforcement for the city of Washington. Thank you for your time and consideration. I appreciate the opportunity again to come before you. I will take any questions.
Okay, questions? Okay, pretty straightforward. Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Okay. Next is Smith Township. Smith Township Public Safety Cameras, project name.
Hi, I'm Nicole. I'm with Smith Township. I'm with their engineering, and this is Chief LaRue. You probably already have this already, but this is just some site location maps of where we're proposing these safety cameras. You can take one. Yeah, so we're proposing safety cameras at a couple key intersections in Smith Township. So these safety cameras will really greatly benefit not only our own police department, but also the neighboring communities. Earlier this morning, we couldn't get the slots back to back, but you also heard a presentation from Burgettstown. These are the same safety cameras, just a different location. That one was in Burgettstown, these are in Smith. But all the safety cameras, whichever ones will be put in, will be able to go and communicate with each other. So these safety cameras are at the intersection of Langlois Road and Townsite Street, as well as at Cross Creek Road and State Route 18. These are two very important intersections in Burgettstown in which a lot of traffic goes past it. So these safety cameras will also be equipped with plate readers. So this will help the police department in investigations and going and like figuring out if there's like an accident there, who's at fault, what happened, or whatnot. These are not meant to go and just be ticketing machines. Like, I don't think these have the capabilities of going and ticketing people for speeding. That's not the point of this. This is for true like investigation, safety, if there's an accident, if someone is, a car was going down this road at this time or whatnot. So these also, I would like to go and point out that we got a direct quote from the supplier of these. So the numbers that I have in there are true, good, actual numbers, what it'll cost. We can just go and have those people come in, install it, easy done project. We just need some assistance with the funding of this project, which doesn't seem like a lot, but it'll have a large impact with the police department and the surrounding police departments as well.
Okay, 2 cameras.
2 sites, 3 cameras, to be able to go and like cover the intersections appropriately.
Any questions? Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you.
And you're up next for the next one? Okay. Okay, the next project is Smith Township. Project name Smith Township Community Park Phase 1.
Once again, I'm Nicole.
I'm Chelsea Colavecchia. I'm Smith Township's Parks and Rec Chair. It's a volunteer board.
And she has put in so much time and effort trying to go and make this project go and come to fruition. So currently, Smith Township does not have any parks within Smith Township. And Chelsea, along with the board and the community, and that's one of the reasons why she got on the board in the first place, because she's a part of the community and wanted to go and make this a reality for everyone to go and have a park that's like nearby. So this is the master plan of the park. However, we went and we circled the phase 1 because we know doing an entirety of a park is not realistic in 1 year, 3 years. This is like a long plan for it. However, we are focusing on the most important, and that would have like the biggest impact of the park, which is phase 1. Phase 1 of the park includes a pavilion, of which we have gotten a donor for. So we're not asking for LSA funding for that. The LSA funding would be to go and kind of help make that pavilion a reality, so it's a pavilion, which will also include water, sewer, like small kitchenette, a small bathroom in there, electricity, lighting for in the area, a parking lot, and potentially some equipment. I think we have a splash pad on there. It might change to a playground or something, just for the community. So that's a project. We think it's very important to go and have a park there. We didn't add in here in the other funds, but some of the behind the scenes work that we've been really working on is getting this land, coordinating with like the previous landowner over here, which was a large corporation, which they went and they donated it to us, this area for a park.
We've also already funded our own master plan, obviously, where that came out of our pocket. I did secure multiple donors, but getting the project started is really what we need the funding for at this point, developing the land, doing our utilities. And then if it can extend into playgrounds or the bathrooms in the pavilion, that would be very helpful as well.
Okay, questions?
I have a question. You say the Township does not have a park?
Smith Township has soccer fields currently, and
Cherry Valley, there's playgrounds and.
so I put that playground in a couple years ago, the one playground. It's not ideal location-wise, I'm still working to try to get this resolved, but we took funding and it was like a $10,000 project, very small that we took our own funding for, to give something to the soccer fields, and that's all that we are able to put there because the soccer fields have a lease on that property for a very long time. So we have this other area. I did a survey that I think I got 10% of our township to respond to, and everybody essentially is complaining that there is nothing for us to do within our own township. So long-term, we would like to develop this into walking trails and an area to gather and let people rent a pavilion that is central. But this was the property we could use. We're not able to use that Cherry Valley location because of the lease on the land. So that little playground that is there was mainly for the soccer area.
Okay, other questions? Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, next is City of Monongahela. Project name, Municipal Authority of City Meter Vault Upgrades.
Good morning.
Morning.
Can you guys hear me okay?
Mhm.
Right. My name's Colin Lampark. This is James Roberts. We're both with the Municipal Authority of the City of Monongahela. We're here today to present our project on meter vault replacement. The Municipal Authority has about 8,000 residents and industrial customers in the City of Monongahela and Carroll Township. I'm sure you're all excited to get an excruciating detail about these meter vaults from another sewer authority. So try to keep it high level here. We have 4 total. 2 are in some pretty desperate need of repairs. The one on Victory Hill has poor ventilation and hydraulic conditions. There's corrosion and it just needs to be outright replaced. The other one on Dry Run here, you can see due to erosion and scour of Dry Run, it's compromising the integrity of the vault. So we have work planned, total replacement and the stream bank stabilization for both. The projects need to be done and will be done. These are critical infrastructure for us. They help us monitor flows. They dictate rates for our ratepayers, and also there's always increasing regulatory compliance. So having a good handle on the flows that we're getting in from our system. We're requesting your assistance with half the project. If there was a shortfall, we have money in our surplus funds and a loan that we just took to cover the remaining project. Anything else to add? Covers it, I think, pretty high level. Appreciate you guys having us here again, and happy to answer any questions.
Okay, questions? Okay, thank you.
All right, thank you guys. Have a good one. Yep.
Okay, next is Lemoyne Community Center. Project name Lemoyne Phase 3 Kitchen Expansion.
I found something that I could actually do. So pass those out.
Our County Treasurer. Hi, Tom, how are you?
Good to see you.
You as well.
Yeah. Hey, we're passing this out because, you guys make sometimes these investments, but you don't get to see the return on those investments. So this is a quick snapshot of some of the progress and activity and results of the investments that you're making in the Lemoyne Community Center. Thank you.
So good morning. My name
name is Teresa Burrows, and I'm the Executive Director of Lemoyne Community Center. I've been in that role for 4 years. First, I want to thank you for your investment of our LSA. Our Phase 1 is near completion, and it is beautiful. And Representative O'Neill, I think my view now is just as eloquent as yours. And the children are loving the new facility, and so it is almost done. Phase 2 will be starting probably in March, and that will be an expansion of our entryway and additional office space. Before you, we are asking for $800,000 for Phase 3, which will be our final phase, and it will be the expansion of our kitchen. The Lemoyne Community Center is currently 70 years old. It'll be 70 this year. And the renovations are greatly needed to bring it current and to provide additional enhancements for our youth as well as our community. Before you, you can see our 2025 in review, and so we have taken great pride in expanding the services throughout the community. From an educational perspective, we added our Little Learners Academy, our food bank has grown, and our meals have definitely skyrocketed, serving over 20,000 meals between our NutriFit, our after-school program, and our Camp Challenge. Last year, we had 195 children participate in our Camp Challenge. This year, we are exceeding beyond 250. So with the new expansion and prayerfully in the new kitchen, we'll be able to do some mass quantity productions of breakfast, lunch, and providing healthy nutritional meals for children. And we make sure that all dietary supplements are provided with each child's nutritional needs. So we provide gluten-free meals, dietary supplement, as well as fresh fruit and vegetables and milk throughout the day, so they're able to have those snacks as a grab and go when they come, and so making sure that all children are healthy and have food that they need. So with the expansion for the kitchen, we will have a total of 2,200 square feet, which is huge for us because with the procurement needs that we have for food, as well as increasing our food bank, that will provide adequate storage space for us. Currently, we have pods that we are putting, our donations in and using those, and that's quite costly. So we would eliminate that expense with the expansion of the kitchen, which would provide additional storage as well.
There is just a note, there's an additional approximately $300,000 in kitchen equipment that will have to be in place, and we'll raise those funds independently of this fund.
Questions?
Just a quick comment. I just want to thank you guys so much for doing what you're doing, picking up the baton from Ms. Joyce. It's been a while since I've been down to the center, and it's just, I'm looking at many times with my staff, and it's Christmas and all kinds of things. So I'm just really happy that you're, continuing that and in a bigger way. So I appreciate what you're doing.
Thank you. Thank you all.
So, Tom, just some clarification on the numbers. I was a little confused by the application, whether or not sorry, I lost it here. The 822 included the equipment. So you're saying it does not include the equipment?
No, that's not.
Okay.
We'll raise that separately.
Okay. Thank you.
Any additional questions?
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for your time.
Okay, next is Lone Pine Volunteer Fire Department. Project name, Lone Pine Social Hall.
Hello.
Morning.
Morning. A little speech here. I'm not a speaker very well. My name is Edward L. Brewer, treasurer for Lone Pine Volunteer Fire Department the last 25 years. I thank you for letting me speak today about the Lone Pine Social Hall renovation project. We are trying to update the interior of the building that was built in 1978. The building has never been renovated and is very run down. The building is used by Amwell Township and surrounding areas. which is very rural. This building is a voting precinct for Amwell Township, and more importantly, a safe haven in emergency situations for warming and cooling center for the community. We have installed new standby generation power for outages and also a new metal roof. Also exterior painting, and all these expenses have come out of Lone Pine Volunteer Fire Department's expenses or funds. The building has been utilized free of charge in the community to help people that have been diagnosed with cancer, Trinity Youth Football and Baseball, local churches, 4-H, Trinity South PTA. I hope this board will take in consideration of the request of $175,000 in renovations for the people of Amwell Township. Lone Pine Volunteer Fire Department and myself, thank you.
Thank you. Questions?
Yes, sir.
I see you have a lot of needs on the list, but a partial payment get you guys rolling and.
This is the partial payment.
Okay.
Believe me, there's more to be done.
Okay.
A lot more to be done. I was instructed to try to keep it to a minimum, and this is the minimum.
Okay.
Amwell's a huge township, and we have other big expenses in the fire department itself. The fire department owns the building and runs it. It used to be owned by the local Grange. It was built by the local Grange and the fire department many years ago, but the Grange is, you know, and most things in these days are, people are lacking. Even in the fire department, I know you've heard that. Okay,
thank you.
Do you need anything else? I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. It's okay.
Huh?
Good
Thank
job.
you.
Yep, okay, thank you.
No problem. Reason why I do this, my dad helped start the place. One of the guys that helped start it. Yeah, and like you said, there used to be, was it the 70s, 300,000 people, I should say, not men. Now there's only 30 in the state of Pennsylvania. I can remember when I was a kid, there'd be 30 people at a meeting. Now we're lucky if we get 10. So I know you all know this. I thank you again.
Thank you.
Have a nice day.
Okay, next is Washington County Cultural Trust, project named Robert Stonehouse Rehabilitation. Thanks.
Yeah, I get that. I understand.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you very much for your attention here today. My name is Andrew Andremis.
I am Brian Carter, treasurer of the Washington County Cultural Trust.
Yes, and our organization owns and operates the historic Robert Stonehouse. For those that are not aware, built in 1798 and located in the Cultural and Historical District of Canonsburg. First and foremost, in 2024, this LSA committee awarded us $75,000, and I can tell you it's been an absolute catalyst to our rehabilitation efforts. In fact, so much that with the money that we utilized, with that $75K, we have garnered the attention of Pittsburgh History and Landmarks Foundation out of downtown Pittsburgh. For those that don't know, from a historical perspective, that's an extremely large deal. They have offered, and you are holding a letter as their commitment, to cover our remaining designing and engineering costs, which is $200,000. So what that does from us, from Matt's perspective, is just, it's absolutely enormous for our progress. That same attention that we've been garnering has also landed us. We were the sole recipient here this past year of PA 250, America 250, in the Washington County Liberty Tree. So we have that Liberty Tree planted in our front yard, front left, if you ever take a gander at that. So we're extremely excited about that, and it's an honor to carry that tree into the future. We are here today requesting $300,000 to complete the structural rehab of this house. As you can imagine, 1798, there are some items that need replaced and fixed and upgraded. We've done a great job over the past 4 years of getting it to this point. But to complete the structural envelope and watertight roof, gutter, soffit, fascias, windows, and just, existing structural concerns, this would complete that phase, essentially leaving us a mere interior cosmetic upgrade, and we will get this historic event venue, which you can see in the rendering there. That is the ultimate goal of this historic event venue in Canonsburg. So we will have one scope of work remaining if successful with this $300,000 structural scope. Honestly, would love to open it up to any questions, concerns, comments for those that are not familiar with the house. Please, anything you guys need. Any questions?
Anything from the historical, Washington County Historical Society of Tourism? Where else are you?
Yes, ma'am, we have. So we've received a couple grants from Washington County Tourism and Promotion Agency. In 2024, as alluded to, obviously from the LSA committee, we've been dealing with Pittsburgh History Landmarks, PHMC. But yes, so there's been multiple organizations with interest in getting this over the goal line.
All right, thank you. Next up is McDonald Borough Heritage Park Phase 3.
Good morning. My name is Amber Wasco, and I am on the McDonald Borough Council, and I come before you again today to request some additional funding for our project. I thank you for your prior commitments to our park. And for those of you that are not familiar, we are requesting additional funding to complete our project within Heritage Park. Heritage Park sits at the intersection of the Montour and Panhandle trails. We recently acquired additional funding to put a footbridge in connecting the trail to the park. The park also is used every summer for our annual McSummerfest, which is hosted by the McDonald Volunteer Fire Department. So the current project includes installing an ADA restroom and a band shell within the park. Phase 1 and 2 have already been completed, and these items have been installed. However, we are deficient in our funds due to the overwhelming increase in supplies and labor over the last few years. When this project was initially planned, we had the funding that we needed to complete the project in its entirety. I come before you today to ask you for an additional $94,875,000 to complete this project and allow our band shell to be operational. As it is now, we do not have electricity running to the band shell, so it is not going to be functional and operational for our McSummerfest this summer. We are also needing the landscaping to go around the properties and the structures to create the sound barrier to the residents and also mitigate any flood damage by irrigating the soil around the structures. Thank you.
Any questions from the board? All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Next up, Washington Christian Outreach. Kitchen renovation and expansion project.
My name is Gary Beam. I'm the Executive Director of the Washington Christian Outreach, and with me is Debbie Boardley, our Operations Director. I want to thank you, first of all, for allowing us to present our program proposal and give you the opportunity to ask any questions you may have. I'm going to read a short statement, if that's okay, just to give you a little bit more background of who we are. We seem to be the organization that no one knows about, but we have some tremendous plans for everyone to get to know us better. These remarks Debbie will give you for your purposes later if you wish. Since its founding in 1978 by Virginia Allender, who we all know affectionately as Jeannie, the outreach has invested in the citizens of Washington County for nearly 50 years. From its humble beginnings from the trunk of her car to our current facility at 119 Highland Avenue. The outreach has been an invaluable source for the basic needs of life for many of our neighbors who have had challenges in obtaining these necessities of life that most of us take for granted, caused by unemployment, long-term illness, and homelessness. You may not be aware, but WCO provides all its services to the public free of charge by staff who are not paid and by volunteers who are not paid. There are no paid employees at Washington Christian Outreach. While the staff and volunteers of the outreach provided over 22,000 meals and over 38,000 articles of clothing and household items in 2025, the outreach is also a haven where people can come and fellowship with others and to hear the word that gives them hope and encouragement. Also, every year during the holiday season, WCO has provided over 300 Christmas food boxes and over 2,000 toys for children. This renovation project, as outlined in our application, is a fundamental prerequisite for achieving phase 2 of our short-term plan, which is the expansion of the daily meal hours at our current facility to include after-school dinner hours and distribution of food and clothing from our current location to other community locations and programs throughout Washington County. If approved and funded, the renovation should only take 2 to 3 months, and the current operations would not be impacted. WCO will contribute $50,000 of our own restricted funds for this next phase to the renovation project. While our organization does not directly create jobs or paid positions, our work has a measurable impact on job creation indirectly by stabilizing individuals who are unemployed or underemployed, by providing consistent access to meals and clothing for them at no cost. We remove critical barriers that prevent them seeking and maintaining employment. As a member of the Washington County Hunger and Homelessness Task Force, WCO is committed to continuing its investment in our citizens, not only by public awareness, but also by involving our community in facing this challenge head on. With this proposal, the thousands of current and new families that will be impacted is priceless. With our LSA grant request, this funding invests in our community for another 50 years, not just in buildings and structures, but directly to our neighbors who are we are commanded to help. We ask for your assistance in this most needed project.
Thank you. Any questions from the board? Have you ever received any LSA funding in the past?
No, we have never applied for grants or any kind of government money. Our original founder believed that God would provide all and has. But this is a bigger outreach. We're now expanding our reach to all the corners of the county with this application. We're gonna be able to provide meals to distribute to Monongahela, Charlotte, where the need is, not just on the Hill in Washington. This is a significant step by our board.
It looks like this is for equipment, kitchen equipment itself, and
You need the kitchen that we're operating out of is like a kitchen in your own home. That's been fine, but we cannot ever fulfill what we want to do with what we have. We need new commercial equipment, a bigger kitchen, bigger dining room, but more importantly, a facility to cook the food so we can distribute it.
so I imagine that's all just another phase or a different part of the
The other
plan.
phase is the distribution. See, we need this first before we can even dream of having touched the other communities. And we have other funds ready for vehicle distributions, supplies, leases at locations. But until we get the kitchen, we can't do that. So it's like the cat chasing its tail. We have to get the kitchen committed to before we can do the next phase.
But then there are funds for the installation of that equipment and essentially growing the kitchen essentially.
But this is important for us because of the timing. If we have to use funds to do the kitchen, it'll delay because we'll have to raise funds again to do the distribution. Because we'll have it 3 months construction, and during that time, we can get the locations identified, the churches involved, and the volunteers involved.
All right, thank you, Gary.
Debbie will provide you a copy of my statement. Thank you.
Next up, Mon Valley YMCA. Mon Valley Pool Dehumidification Project.
I know your time is precious, so I'll start here. Good morning. Thank you for the opportunity to present our project. My name is Jeff Vitale. I'm the Chief Executive Officer of the Mon Valley YMCA in Monongahela, Pennsylvania. Our request supports the replacement of a failed natatorium dehumidification system, which is essential infrastructure protecting one of the most heavily used community assets in our facility. Our indoor pool serves thousands of residents annually through swim lessons, competitive swim programs, senior wellness, aquatic therapy, and open community access. For many families and seniors in our area, the YMCA provides their only affordable year-round access to aquatic programming. Proper humidity control in the natatorium is critical. When a system fails, excessive moisture and airborne chloramines accumulate in the air. These chloramines are corrosive to the building and, most importantly, harmful to the indoor air quality, creating respiratory and comfort concerns for patrons and staff. Our existing system has reached its end of useful life. While we have responsibly invested in keeping it operational, we are now spending tens of thousands of dollars annually on repairs that no longer solve the underlying problem. These escalating costs represent an unsustainable use of our resources and do not adequately protect the facility. This project replaces this failed system with a modern, energy-efficient dehumidification unit specifically designed for high chlorine natatorium environments. The project preserves a critical public asset, improves indoor air quality, reduces long-term operating costs, and safeguards prior public and private investment in the YMCA facility. This LSA funding is a key component of a responsible, multi-source financial plan that allows us to complete the project without compromising program affordability or financial stability. This project is fully scoped, vendor quoted, and ready to proceed upon funding approval. This is not an expansion project. It is an essential infrastructure preservation that ensures continued access to safe, healthy aquatic programming for our community for decades to come. Thank you, and I'll answer any questions if you have any.
Thank you.
Beautiful, thank you. Enjoy the day.
Next presenter is Centerville Borough Sanitary Authority.
Good morning. My name is Dana Kendrick. I'm with K2 Engineering. We are the engineer for the Centerville Borough Sanitary Authority. They did request that I come today because of the knowledge that I have about the application and, of course, the equipment that they are requesting the LSA funding for. And again, in the application, we did request the replacement. This would not be a new acquisition for expansion. This is just to restore them to where they are 100% capacity. And again, this is a 2,000-gallon vacuum tank used for sanitary sewer maintenance. The total cost of the project is $69,875. They are able to put in a 10% match for this public request. And it is a public interest project due to the fact that it is serving the quality of life for that community. The problem that needs to be addressed is the current vacuum tank is a 2007 aluminum unit. It is way beyond its useful life, and that has been noted as per certified aluminum suppliers. So over the 18 years of service, it has experienced numerous leaks and repairs. It's been welded beyond repair. So unfortunately, if fail were to happen, they would not be able to actually clean or maintain the sewer system. Now, their sewer system, for your knowledge, is a network of conveying effluent, which is liquid waste, it's not solids. So that is why this piece of equipment is essential to keep their sewer system working. In other words, if this were to completely fail, then the sewer system would fail as well. And that would create an immediate public health risk. It would be potential discharge of raw or even partially treated effluent. So that's an environmental concern as well for the community. And again, not a deferrable type of infrastructure project. Without this being operational, they can no longer move forward with maintenance. So the solution would be to purchase a new stainless steel vacuum tank. We are going to look at the same amount because it would be a 2,000-gallon tank mounted onto the existing maintenance truck. So this would require, in the cost of that project, which is included, to remove the existing unit and remount a new unit. It would be modern, durable, and professional grade. And again, fully restore them to their maintenance capability, because right now it's as needed and as they need to keep it going. And a project does align with the LSA program focus of public interest. So this asset, if it were to fail, there's no other way around it. So at this point, their only solution is to move forward with a new tank vacuum. So the project itself will not expand the system. I want to make sure I make that clear. This is for an existing system. The project right now will protect 567 residential customers. It will also service 43 commercial and institutional customers. Of those customers, that includes medical providers, food banks, local employers. At this stage, there are no new jobs to be created, but again, the impact it would have on the quality of life and for the existing jobs in that community is important. So they are ready to move forward. If selected for this award, they would be able to procure immediately and work with the manufacturer to have the fabrication and then installation. So spring, summer of 2027 is very feasible, with all funding being fully expended at that point. So at this point, I do want to wrap it up, but I want to make sure if there's any questions for anyone here, I'm happy to provide those responses.
Okay, questions?
Is it possible for you to, I mean, God forbid something happened that trying to, falls off a cliff or something, you'd have to borrow or rent another vehicle to complete the tasks this one does. Is that something that could be done, even renting a vehicle would be needed sometimes?
If there was an emergency, they wouldn't be able to do that long-term, because like I said, this is an affluent system, not a solid waste system. So there's no feasibility and affordability to be able to rent this long-term. This would be an emergency response situation, which we hope would not have to happen. That would be a drain on their budget.
Excuse me, my question is, can you explain how often do you need this? You use this every day?
Again,
Or
it
during
is routine. So of those 567 residences, those 43 businesses, there is a long-term schedule routine. So monthly, there may be 20 this month, next month it might be 100. And one area I did want to mention to you, just in case that kind of questioning came up, is the fact of the matter is they do have service areas not only in Centerville Borough, but they provide service to Beltsville Borough as well as Center West Sewage Authority. So they're also assisting another authority when they need it. So to keep this routine and scheduled. If they were to be down for a month, then that means their next month would be double. And so at that point, there could be backups. And again, back to that discharge I was talking about, that could go into local waterways, it could go into residential areas and cause a hazard of public health risk. I hope that answers that. Any other or further questions?
Okay, thank you.
Thank you for your time.
Okay, next is Charleroi Borough, project name, Charleroi Code Demolition Enforcement Program.
Listen, stepped out, he stepped out. Okay, he'll be back.
Okay.
He stepped out.
I beg your pardon. I thought there was somebody ahead of us. Thank you all so much for your time this morning. My name is Joe Manning. I'm the Borough Manager for Charleroi. And I'm pleased to be joined today with Officer Jamie Stash of our Code Enforcement Department. Again, thank you for your time this morning. Our application for funding is somewhat mundane, but vital to the well-being of our community. And that is the elimination of blighted properties. Charleroi is not unlike most communities throughout southwestern Pennsylvania, in as much as the post-industrial era of the last several decades has hollowed out our communities, leaving abandoned and neglected housing and commercial buildings that have negatively impacted the borough and lowers the quality of life for our residents. As is pointed out in the Washington County's own supplement regarding blighted properties in the comprehensive plan, quote, blighted properties are liabilities that drain municipal resources and inhibit economic development, end quote. Therefore, it is essential that the overall health of our and well-being of our community, that blighted properties be eliminated and the spaces they occupy be revitalized. I think it's important for the committee to know that Charleroi has been extremely proactive and creative in addressing this particular problem. In recent years, the borough purchased a dozen properties from the county's repository sale, and with the purpose of demolishing those abandoned and hazardous structures. And most recently, the borough has begun marketing those empty lots so that residents can purchase them at a fair market value, increasing their property's footprint and returning the land to the tax rolls. We believe that our appeal is a relatively modest request that would have an enormous impact on our community, and we hope that you'll look favorably on our application.
Okay, questions?
Quick question. Can you just describe what's been going on with blighted properties over just the last few years? Have they increased? I mean, how many are on the rolls, and are they multifamily homes? Are they apartments, or are they single-family residents?
What I have now is approximately, I think I just mentioned at the meeting the other night, 76 condemned properties. Now, out of those 76, since I started there, I would say about a quarter of them we're starting to turn them around, where I'm finally getting the owners or whoever is purchasing them are starting to rehab them. Okay, but still that leaves 3/4 of those, in the 70s that are pretty bad. They're deplorable. They're a safety hazard, health hazard. There's a few commercial, a lot of residential. We're trying to move the properties around to where the ones that we did have them demoed in the past, we are starting to sell the properties. We're posted signs on them for sales, and that's moving along real good. But until, we're hoping we can get some of these properties tore down and we can get more interest from, outside people to get into Charleroi. I mean, it's obvious, in my opinion, Charleroi is probably the most depressed area in Washington County. Okay, and we need help. We need help. I was code enforcement officer there for 10 years in the 90s, and it's a whole different world than it is now. And, basically that's where we're at right now. So, I mean, a lot of you know what it's like down there. We've taken the tour through the town and, but up on a hill also, there's residential areas where, I'm having rodent problems and, there's only so much I can do. The borough can do. I mean, we try to go in there, we board them up and, but, there's also legal aspects we have to follow also.
One of the I used to live in Charleroi for like 8 years before moving to Monongah Hill. But also one of the very first things I did when I was first elected in 2014 was I requested to be on the board, the housing and urban development, because of all the blight and everything in the district, and that was back in 2014. And how are we with the trying to locate, like you said, some of the properties, a quarter of them, you've been able to locate some of the delinquent owners. We still having a problem. I know back then we were having problems like in Genora and things with people who would buy property on eBay, and they weren't even in the state. So we tried to shrink up that issue in the Urban Affairs and Housing Committee. But what is that looking like for you now in Charleroi?
Well, there's a procedure we're following. I learned this back in the 90s when I was working with redevelopment. A lot of out-of-staters, just let them go. So, there's a procedure you follow through court and code enforcement. Basically, once you get it condemned, then you give them X amount of time to get it tore down, you get letters sent back, and then basically, what happens, when we did it back in the 90s, we just took the property over. Legally, because went through the process. And that's why I got so many condemned, because, when the money becomes available, they'll be there for us to, take it, all the paperwork, the paper trail, everything's there. Okay. A lot of these owners I can't track down. So, basically, I write the citations, I go through the court procedures with them, nobody shows up, but that's all part of the process that I have to go through to make sure when the money comes available, we can go and we can, assess what needs to be torn down first. If we get enough money to tear 3 or 4 structures down, then we can go and we can look at them and, assess on the list on where we want to go. And, of course, it would have to be an agreement with everybody, but, that's the procedure that we're following. I'm pretty experienced in this area as far as going through that. So a lot of people I'm giving an opportunity to. They want to try to rebuild, then go ahead, but, you're going to have a limit on there. Limited time. If you're not doing it, then we're back to square one, and I'm going to go after you. You're either going to pay the citations, or we're going to come in, we're going to seize the property and take it over.
That's one of the reasons that I encouraged council a couple of years ago to buy these properties at repository sale, just because of that, so that we could avoid having to take the owners to court, have to take it over and everything. Just eliminate that step, and then if the borough owns it outright by buying it from the tax sale, then we were free to demolish them. And then offer that property to the adjacent property owners to, as I said earlier, increase the size of their footprint if they would like to do that, and gets it back on the tax rolls.
Well, the last thing you want to do is to have a property become so dilapidated that you have to condemn it. The best thing is to be able to legally jump in there right away, demand that it be turned over or whatever, put up for, for a closure somehow, so that you can, keep it on the tax roll, because you get a lot more in taxes if it's not a vacant lot.
Absolutely, and that's why our code department is so vital to that community. I mean, he and his deputy are overwhelmed.
Thank you very much.
I'm only 30 years old.
One would argue you have too much experience.
Yeah.
That. Okay, any other questions? Okay, thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, next is Western Pennsylvania Bleeding Disorder Foundation. Project name, Bleeding Disorders Awareness and Outreach Project. Good afternoon, ladies.
Thank you so much for giving us the opportunity to speak to you today. My name's Kara Dornish. I'm the Executive Director at the Western Pennsylvania Bleeding Disorders Foundation, and with me is Jessica Lee. We're a nonprofit organization focused on education, outreach, and early detection of bleeding disorders across the 26 counties of Western Pennsylvania. So we're requesting a local share account support for our Bleeding Disorders Awareness and Outreach Project focused in Washington County. Bleeding disorders, including hemophilia, von Willebrand's disease, they're far more common than most people realize, yet they remain significantly underdiagnosed. Up to 3% of the population may have von Willebrand's disease, but as many as 90% of cases remain undiagnosed. Symptoms such as frequent nosebleeds, easy bruising, prolonged bleeding, or heavy menstrual periods are often normalized or dismissed, particularly among women and young people. Delayed diagnosis can lead to unnecessary medical complications, emergency room visits, missed school or work, and reduced quality of life. So this project addresses that gap by placing supplies that are clear educational materials directly to schools, libraries, colleges, and health centers throughout Washington County. We distribute period pads, which we brought some to show you, and nosebleed kits that help individuals manage symptoms while also explaining when bleeding may be abnormal and when and how to seek evaluation. This approach is especially important in rural communities where schools and libraries are often served as a trusted access point to health information and early intervention when healthcare options may be limited. Delayed diagnosis also has real mental and emotional impacts, particularly in children and adolescents. When symptoms are misunderstood or underdiagnosed, young people may experience anxiety, embarrassment, missed school, and a sense of not being believed. By equipping our school nurses and educators with tools to recognize potential bleeding disorders, this program helps shorten the time between symptoms and evaluation and reducing both physical and emotional strain. This approach aligns closely with the Washington County's comprehensive plan's emphasis on improving public health, strengthening community services, expanding educational resources, and enhancing the quality of life. By delivering health education through trusted community locations, this project supports the county's goal of building informed, resilient, and healthy communities. And this is a proven and effective model. Over the past 2 years, our outreach has reached more than 250 school districts throughout the 26 counties of Western Pennsylvania. We sent out a survey to all of those school nurses, and of those, 88 schools responded to our survey. It was reported that 18 individuals are currently undergoing an evaluation for a bleeding disorder, and 4 individuals have already received confirmed diagnoses directly because of our program. The Western Pennsylvania Bleeding Disorders Foundation currently supports this program at a baseline level through our existing organizational resources. While no future funding has yet been secured specifically for this project, we are actively working to secure more funding to extend this project and engage with additional funders to expand this initiative regionally. The local share account funding would enable us to provide targeted, consistent support within Washington County, ensuring access in every school, library, and college while covering tangible costs such as printing, shipping, and transportation. Our foundation will continue to provide program coordination, outreach, volunteer engagement, and will leverage existing resources for maximum impact. Local share account funding would support a 3-year project beginning after contract execution with all of the funds expended within the contract period. This is a practical, cost-effective investment that does improve early diagnosis, reduces the long-term healthcare burden, and improves quality of life for Washington County residents. So thank you so much for your time and consideration, and I'm happy to answer any questions.
Thank you. Questions? Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Okay, next is Mon Valley Performing Arts Academy, project name Open the Door.
If you wouldn't mind just leaving on with your neighbor, we're a nonprofit, so we don't pay money.
Here, why don't we pass them?
I am Carla Anderton, and I am here today on behalf of Mon Valley Performing Arts Academy. And Michelle Pageon, our artistic director and president, unfortunately could not be here today. She had a major medical emergency. We thought that she might be better today, but unfortunately not. I'm here today to talk to you about the Open the Door campaign, and I would like to thank you first for the opportunity, of course, to speak with you. Our goal is fairly simple, very straightforward, and that is that we would like to purchase a building in California, Pennsylvania. We want to create a permanent shared space for the arts, and we also want to create a space that will be accessible to the community at large. In order to do so, we intend to purchase a building in California, Pennsylvania. Now, if you look in your packet to page 3, you will see here, this is the building that we have identified. It's a beautiful building. It's there at 243rd Street in California. And 3 things that stand out about this building is it is large enough for our purposes. It is move-in ready, and it also has private parking in the back. So it's a safe location for our students. For many, many years, back since my own daughter was a student at Mon Valley Performing Arts Academy, we have had our classes on the campus of Penn West, California. We've been very fortunate to partner with them. However, we have grown, and it is time for us to have our own space. I'm sure that I don't have to tell anybody in this room that arts programming in the schools is decreasing and in some cases being eradicated completely. And so we are hoping to step in and fill that void. So our vision, again, very straightforward. We want to establish a safe, accessible, permanent home for the arts in California, Pennsylvania. It will be a space for residents of all ages. And then if you look again at your packet, if you will move on to this page right here, it is titled California Dreaming. I will be full disclosure, this is AI. However, we do have very much a vision for what we would like to do with the space, so we wanted to share that with you. This is not exactly what we're going to do, but it's very similar in vein. And we are working additionally with local real estate professionals. We are working with local attorneys, and we are hoping to be bringing in some local artists as well as working with local businesses. So where do you come in? We need funding. We have raised some funding through crowdfunding efforts. We have a fairly successful Give Butter campaign. We also have a couple of significant private donations that have come in fairly recently. In fact, I don't even have those numbers in front of me. As I said, I'm kind of here today for Michelle, but they have helped us to bring that dream a little closer to reality. But we do need your help, and that is why I'm here. So with your support, we will be able to purchase this building and create a safe and accessible space for the arts in California community. And I think that that will benefit not only the California community and our students and our teachers, but the Washington County community as well. Thank you for your time. Does anyone have any questions?
Who would own this building if LSA is going to buy it?
I beg your pardon?
Who would own, I guess my question is are these LSA funds going to purchase this building?
We are hoping to purchase this building. It was the old OSPTA.
But with LSA funds or with your own funding?
I'm a little bit deaf, sir. I'm sorry.
Would this building be purchased with LSA funds?
Yes, yes. In addition to the funds that we have raised through crowdfunding and through our major donors. So, again, apologize.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, we're a little ahead here. The next is North Franklin Township. So North Franklin Chestnut LLC, project name is Franklin Crossroads Park.
All my copies. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Chris Salata. I'm a partner with Prep Funds out of Cleveland, Ohio. Appreciate the flexibility of this group I was originally scheduled to be here yesterday, and we got dumped on with about 17 inches of snow in Northeast Ohio. So the drive was much easier today. I am here on behalf of ownership of the former Washington Crown Center Mall in North Franklin Township, which we have rebranded as Franklin Crossroads Park. We are joint venturing on this project with a group called Industrial Realty Group. Between IRG and Prep Funds, we own about 145 million square feet of industrial and commercial space throughout the United States. We are in 44 states here in the United States. This is our 11th retail conversion of a former retail regional mall. So we are experts in this space. This is a $35 million project, all in. And the goal here is to create a mixed-use project where this former mall sits. As you may know, the mall since 2016 has continued to deteriorate. When we took possession in the fourth quarter of last year, we encountered a significant amount of mold, asbestos, blight, security issues, trash. So it is a site that has needed some TLC for a long time, and fortunately, our business plan and our expertise fit well for this type of project. The goal is to create about 100,000 square feet of new retail space. So we want to capitalize on the existing retail that's there with the car dealership, with the Rural King, with the Mac Discount. And essentially what we'll do is we will turn all of that retail outward facing. So we'll create kind of an exterior community-like center that will face I-70. And then we'll take advantage of the large spaces that we have in the back of the property and create a business park for North Franklin. This is a large job creator. We are anticipating upwards of 300 to 650 jobs potentially created here between the retail and the industrial positions. As I said, this is a significant private investment. Both Prep Funds and IRG are privately equitized and financed. So we have the capital required for this. However, our goal is to bring this back to a Class A project. And in order to do that, we do have a gap in our underwriting, and we are seeking assistance on the public side to help us really take this back to the Class A project that it deserves to be. The request in front of you today is in connection with upgrading all of the fire suppression, life safety, and essentially the sprinkler systems within this facility. As you can imagine, they have been neglected over time and need to be completely upgraded and replaced. That system is obviously very important for us to attract the most high credit corporate users. I can tell you at this point in time, the renovations are underway. If you haven't been by the old mall, we are blowing and going as we speak. We understand the timing of this particular grant would require us to put these funds into place if we are fortunate enough to be awarded. So we have this particular upgrade to the facility targeted as kind of one of our last improvements, which would take place probably in the third quarter of 26. I'm happy to report today that we are already 85% pre-leased on the retail space. So many of the tenants that currently exist in the interior of the mall are going to be staying, and they're going to be moving to the exterior. So they'll have a brand new space and a brand new presence. And despite not having a model suite to really show at this point in time, we have had over a dozen tours with prospective corporate users to move their businesses to this new location. Many of those are out of state. As you can imagine, with the topography here in Western Pennsylvania, it's hard to build from the ground up. So bringing new industrial space online like we are in this situation has been very attractive and well received by the industrial community. Many of these businesses have locations in West Virginia because they can't find it here in Western PA. So to now have this 350,000 square feet coming on space, we're very optimistic on our timing. And I think this particular grant will allow us to stay on that time frame. So the goal is to have completion of the construction done within the next 12 to 15 months and have this asset fully stabilized and leased within 24 months, which would obviously, you can see there's renderings within the package that you have that will show you our vision. The exterior paint job is already done, so you can start to see that what's on the pages there is actually what we deliver. The job statistics are in there, as well as the economic impact we believe on the tax basis, both at the state and local levels. So excited to be here in Washington County. Excited to bring this project to life and hope there's a way that you can assist us to do so.
Okay, thank you. Questions? Okay, thank you.
So thank you.
I mean, I'll take some money. What's that? I mean, the level of protection, there's a board, you know? My
Sorry, I hope we didn't keep you waiting. We'll jump right into this. I'm Garrett Andre. This is Ron Barris with the Canonsburg Knights of Columbus. There is a very important monument that's located on Muse Bishop Road in Cecil that needs a new home. It's a World War II monument, and it's estimated to weigh several tons, so it's very big. It features the names of 347 men and women from the Muse community who fought in World War II, and many of which who actually lost their lives. For decades, local organizations, including ours, the Muse VFW, Muse Volunteer Fire Department, Muse Italian Club, and our local Boy Scout troop have held a Memorial Day ceremony at the monument to honor and remember these heroes. At the ceremony, the Scouts lower the flag to half-staff, speeches are made, taps is played, there's a 3-volley gun salute, patriotic songs are sung, prayers said, and flowers laid at the monument by each organization. Today, we are here to ask for your help in funding the construction of a new memorial for this monument. It will be located adjacent to a ball field that's being refurbished by the Canonsburg Lady Knights softball organization, so it will enjoy high visibility in the community, especially to the young people who will compete at the new field and their family and friends. Our application includes renderings of the proposed memorial, and I really cannot overstate the historical significance and importance of this monument to our community, and hope that you can find a way to help us fund it. Although we wanted to dedicate the monument this year, as we'll celebrate our nation's 250th, we're hoping to at least hold a groundbreaking ceremony this year, and would hope that you would join us to represent the county and your role in making this happen for us. Thank you.
Oh, thank you. Questions?
Question, did you say you're moving it from Cecil to Canonsburg?
No. So we have, it's currently resides on a piece of property that is on the market to be sold. There's been several offers for the property. Nothing solid yet, but it could happen at any time. So time is of the essence for us. And hence why we're coming to you, because, in terms of to have the time to raise that kind of money, it would take us a long time to do that with all the other fundraising that we do.
Where is the ball?
So it's going right across the street. So it's literally going across Bishop Muse Road, but it's big. It takes a lot of money to do that. New footers poured, crane to come in and move it. But we wanted to do it right. We didn't just want to move it, set it in a field. We wanted to create a monument. So we did some renderings and submitted those with our proposal.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate your time.
Okay, next we have Charleroi Cemetery Association, the project name, Charleroi Cemetery Road Project. Do we have the resilience group?
Resilience group?
Okay, you guys okay? Good afternoon. Okay, the project name is the Resilience Group Recovery House Expansion and Wellness Program.
We made copies of our little points. I don't know if it's okay.
Whatever you'd like to do. Sure. And maybe just hand the packet and we'll just pass it on. Okay, we're ready.
My name's Laura. This is Bruce. We're here representing the Resilience Group. We are asking for funding to go toward a shared living transitional home focused on women. The goal is to serve women who are stable but not yet able to afford long-term independent housing for themselves. It is not for emergency situations. It is to kind of bridge the gap between being in a crisis shelter, a homeless shelter, and something like HUD, a more permanent solution. We historically, we've done this before in a different way. We do own and operate recovery homes here in Washington County, the first one. Sorry, public speaking isn't mine. So it was launched and is sustained entirely with private funds, and we did acquire our second home recently with the help of Fayette County Drug and Alcohol. It is a model that works, and we believe that it would work very well in a different capacity. We would like to have a transitional home for women, not necessarily having anything to do with recovery.
You said you operate other facilities in the county?
Recovery housing is what we have experience doing, so the same kind of model. Gentlemen who are coming out of recovery, transitional housing, they're trying to get their lives back together. We help with things like employment opportunities, transportation, things like that. Anything that they require during that transitional period to get themselves back on their feet, reestablish themselves in the workforce, whether it be for uniforms, transportation, tools, anything so that they have the tools that they need to get started.
Are you working with building trades that can assist in a lot of that, especially for the men anyway?
I can't.
I'm sorry.
so sorry.
Are you working with building trades because they have all sorts of programs for recovering citizens and those even coming out of incarceration? They work with them and give them all the tools they need and can probably be a really great resource for you. Carpenters do that, the laborers do that, operating engineers. Yeah.
So for the recovery housing, we work very closely with many organizations within the community here in Washington. We get referrals from all over the place, different counties. For this specifically though, we're not trying to duplicate anything that already exists. We just want to build off of services that are already there. And people who don't necessarily have access to them or know that they exist or how to really utilize those. So PA Career Link, Community Action, the Washington Health System, a lot of those organizations provide training for people who are trying to get back into the workforce. As far as financial literacy, Clearview Federal Credit Union, the United Way, there's consumer credit counseling services of Western PA. So we kind of want to incorporate all of that as resources for these women during this transitional period.
So where will it be located?
I'm sorry,
Where will it be located?
Washington County.
But I mean, part of this is to actually acquire property, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so where, Washington County is a pretty big place. Where physically are you looking right now to provide these services? Where would the physical location be?
So based on our experience, the homes that we currently have are outside of downtown Washington. Canton Township there's a lot of very nice residential areas. I mean, when we have looked for properties in the past for what we've done before this, that is one of the big areas that we look for properties in.
And a lot of it comes down to being close, because transportation is a huge issue with these people that are starting off. So close to resources, but kind of outside the city limits. You know what I'm saying? To where people, if they had to walk to employment or shopping or whatever it is, it makes it easily accessible to them. So no, we don't have an exact location right now, but it's kind of like that happy medium, that Goldilocks area, to where these houses need to be located to, make them more accessible to services that they need and stuff.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, any other questions? Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Must be McGuffey. Okay, you're up. Okay, we have Claysville Playground Association, the project name McGuffey Community Park Upgrades. Good afternoon.
Hello. So I'm Jerry Zwicker and this is Nancy Brownlee. I'm a landscape architect and also was a playground safety inspector, and I happen to live in Claysville. This is the only park within the greater Claysville area. It's about 74 acres. And once you get those packets, I'll just show you. We're asking for money to do safety surfacing under the existing playground equipment that's there. This past year, we received a grant from DCNR with our match is $170,000. It's the first large influx of cash into the park in 40 years, I believe. And we are with that. If you see, the top picture actually shows the playground. It's 2 playgrounds we're trying to put safety surfacing under. One is 6,000 square feet. The other one's about almost 2,700 square feet. When you do safety surfacing under playground equipment, there's a fall zone, and that just means that you have to go way beyond the equipment with your safety surfacing to make it safe. And currently, we are using wood chips that deplete very quickly. They are sometimes washed away by the creek that's right nearby, which you can see on the first page. On the second picture, you can see the creek that runs through the park. And then the 2 yellow areas are where these 2 playgrounds are located within the park. And we are also all volunteers, so it's not like, we have a staff that's gonna go out and constantly put these chips back every time some kid swings and kicks them all out, which happens daily.
Plus, we're also a very small volunteer group. We're not, we have no paid employees or anything. We fall under the borough's umbrella, but not workforce. We have a very minimal budget. So to replace the mulch every year is quite a stress to be able to expand anything else.
And on the second page, it actually shows closer up. You can see the top picture is where we're adding some of the stuff. We got grant funding from DCNR. And the playground is right next to a covered bridge that actually the LSA funds or county funds, something from the county, paid to have there. So this is right next to that. It's, like I said, next to the creek. And then the lower picture is we are locating pickleball courts with that grant nearby there. And that playground is just on the left section of that picture. You can see it there. So that covers it, right?
Okay, questions?
It's very straightforward. I mean, it's literally just.
A very nice job.
Thank you.
Pictures make it easy to understand.
That one thing on the last page is the actual quote from so you can see I didn't just kind of make up those numbers. It's very expensive. It's about $22 a square foot, completely installed. That's with your sub base and everything, your excavation, your sub base, everything put in to be completely done.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Caroline, have you heard from the Charleroi Cemetery Group?
I have not, I'm asking Brenda, a lot of people seem to be going over to our office. So I'm asking her if they stopped over there.
Let's wait and see what. Call it here. So Caroline, we're okay, this concludes today's session. The next time the group will get together is on the 23rd for the live voting session on the past 2 days. So thank you to everybody.